I'm assuming that means we are live, and also it is Tuesday again. 6-ish Pacific. It is Tuesday again. Welcome. 6. Thanks for joining us, everyone. You know, I think every time I'm supposed to do this, I forget how I'm supposed to do it. We'll go ahead and start off with our contributing folks and friends. So nerdware.com, they've got tons of things to put on yourself, like a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. I don't know. I don't want to pin you into a corner.
Or on someone else.
Yeah, or on someone else if you're feeling generous.
It's an awkward way of a description of a t-shirt I think I've ever heard.
I think I just felt Corey shrivel up a little on the inside.
You can put it on a mug. You can put it on a book. They've got stickers. They've got all this other stuff. If you are a nerd and you want some stuff that like you enjoy, they probably have it. So go check them out and use our promo code FRIENDS to get 10% off. So nerdwear. That's what nerds wear. I think is what the thing was. I forgot. My notes are all over the place. I'm out of here. DDM Emporium. I'm going to try to get that jingle to stick. We'll see if it does. But dmemporium.com. Head over there if you need dice, you need mugs, you need minis. If you want to build a 3D battle space for your players, your home game, or your online games. I mean, if you have a home game right now, you are brave. So anyways, moving past that, head over to DM Emporium and get yourself sorted out with all that fun stuff that I just mentioned, and use promo code FORWARD, FWRD, to get 10% off. Schedule Tuesdays, that's 6 p.m. Pacific. Thursdays, Mind in the Martyr, 6 p.m. Pacific again. I think we got a theme going on here. Friday, every Friday of this month, we've had an indie game also at 6 p.m. Shit, the Mark of the Beast. Sorry. No, but yes, join us on all those dates. Catch up with us. We got some great things going on. The indie games have been amazing. Our games obviously have been incredible. I think you might even see some people you know in the indie games, or at the end of the month on a Saturday when we have a 16-hour stream.
Can I talk about this Friday's game?
Yes, you can.
It is called Queer Heist Crew, and our group is a group of super queer people who have been sent by a multidimensional gay cabal in order to steal an auction item from a politician who we don't think is very helpful for our community. So there will be people from Cartoon Universe or people from like a superhero universe, and everybody's going to be kind of from a different place, all coming together to help LGBTQIA folk in multi-dimensions. And there's actually a role for queer move in the game.
Roll for queer.
Yes. Or roll with queer. It's awesome.
Why is that not on a shirt?
I know.
Check in on our merchandise. Next month, we have Roll with Queer on our t-shirts. Only from Friends Who Roll Dice. I'm kidding. That's not a thing yet. But we call dibs on it. So anybody in this room right now.
Dibs.
Verbal contracts are binding, right?
Yes. But you have to have someone you're making it with. It doesn't. Dibs.
It's fine. It's fine.
Dibs.
Yeah.
We're dibsing with all of us in this Zoom chat right now. I guess if we don't have anything else, I think we can jump into this.
The fundraising.
Yes, the fundraising.
Oh, and incentives.
Yes. Do you want to talk about fundraisers? Do you want other people to talk about?
Other people can totally talk about fundraising.
Right. Well, so because several of us were at the march that happened in Los Angeles, where the LGBTQIA community like showed up for Black Lives Matter. Like the estimates I've seen are between 25,000 people on the low end and like 40,000 on the high end. And having been there, it was just amazing. It was an amazing spirit. And like to have the queer community recognize that we not only owe a debt, but are comprised for a large degree by people of color, and especially Black people. And to have us be there and really dedicated to racial justice for all, and especially for Black trans women, who are the most likely to be targeted for hate crimes and assaults. that we were all there to help them. And that's sort of the spirit of this fundraiser. We're fundraising for Black Lives Matter. We're fundraising for the Trevor Project. I really want to recommend that, like, in the spirit of this week, there was also a huge rally in New York about this, that, you know, if you've donated to the Trevor Project, do that solidarity donation. Donate to Black Lives Matter. Let's get some money to them for racial justice and for our Black LGBTQIA siblings.
Very well said. I guess, sorry, changing gears here. That's a tough one to change.
Perfectly worded. It is tough to follow that one.
But yes, that protest was amazing, and there was just like so much love in the air, and yeah, it was very incredible. And if anybody can look at videos or something, like it, tons of people are coming out. It was, yes, amazing. Anywho, last we partied, y'all were kind of discussing what to do with the Bruegel situation. Damn it, that would have been a better title.
The Bruegel situation?
Yeah.
If only. Curses.
I could turn back time. But, so you're discussing what to do with the Bruegel situation when out of nowhere, this kind of sand twister was heading your way. You all managed to jump onto a large rock formation. Unfortunately, one of the camels died. I think it's not Pepe. Pappy?
Patty.
Patty, damn it. I wrote it down and I don't.
But we still have Guinness, O'Reilly. We still have Guinness, O'Reilly, and Jameson.
And Bagora.
And Bagora.
Who, what? Who and what?
Yes, y'all ended up fighting a purple worm. Not the most creative name, but very scary beast in its own right. And y'all kind of destroyed it. And then there was some nice talks over the campfire during watch. And then we went into Bruegel and Desmond talking. And Bruegel said, oh, well, I can see them coming. And she pointed over your shoulder, and there was some big old skeletal-like things crawling out of the sand. And sand was falling through their eyes and out of their mouth and all that stuff. And we can pick up there. I believe Desmond said, hey, guys.
How did you forget about, like, the skeletons crying sand? That just seems...
I forgot about that too.
I don't think we get that in this desert. I don't think that's a thing.
Yeah, actually, can everybody go ahead and give me a con save off the...
Aw,
Right. Should have said, Ray. Should have said a thing.
dirty.
Oh
I'm so
god.
scared.
No, that's not bad. 16 for me.
Just rolled with my con.
Oh boy.
18.
8. Not teen.
Okay.
Right.
Right,
We
so
had an important conversation. We're exhausted. We had first watch.
Yeah,
It makes
yeah.
sense.
Well, I forget. I should be keeping better track of this since I should be. Tobias, did you still have a point of exhaustion, or had you gotten through both of those? So you're...
I do not have exhaustion yet. Now I do.
You do now. Tobias, you are back down to 2. And does anybody want to roll for Harlan, or do we just want...
Let's let him roll when he
the
gets
fight?
here.
Okay.
Yeah. You want me to be held responsible? I don't know. Poor Newt. She just got herself out of hot water with her boyfriend. Don't put her back in.
Oh,
Fair
gosh.
enough. Yeah, so Newt, Tobias, you both, well, Tobias, you have 2 points of exhaustion. Newt, you have 1. Everybody else, you're looking fine at the moment.
Not health wise, but
For right now, Desmond, you see 3 of these zombie skeletal-like creatures crawling out of the ground, out of the sand. You are all on the rock formation. What's everybody doing?
Waiting.
What's going on? What is it does? Oh my god! What okay. What are they what do we
And Dez is like dead still. His eyes are just like flared red, and he's just waiting patiently in silence.
you do your thing where you make them run away?
Get him close enough when I can do something.
I'm going to kind of just hold my hands out, and the like fiery lines like start to like ebb and pulse as I hold burning hands for when they're within 15 feet.
And I'm waiting for 30.
Plot twist, they're on the rock. Because
One is on your shoulder.
Everywhere.
Don't give them ideas.
does anyone want to give the DM disadvantage? Anybody?
Yeah.
Anybody?
Actually, we didn't talk about incentives. Can we talk about incentives, please?
Yes.
Sure.
You can mess with our story, help the players by donating money. With $5, I think you can give. It's that inspiration advantage.
I just put it in chat.
Yes.
So 5 for inspiration, 10 for advantage, disadvantage to the DM, 15 auto crit, 20 you get an NPC named after you who we may or may not kill in the first session or in backstory. 30 you get to name a story NPC, so an NPC who will likely survive for a while at least.
Well,
and
we
be part of
can't
story.
guarantee that.
Yes.
But they'll be important.
Listen, as long as they're not a cow person, they'll be fine.
Yeah, right. Yeah. For the death of your NPC. and 40 you get a personalized stat block where you yourself become an NPC, and Ray like does all of this like real thoughtful. It's really cool. Like
I'll have to
would love
share
it.
mine at some point because
pretty
it's
awesome.
super cute.
So yes, you can give us stuff to help us not die from skeletons.
Disadvantage for Adam.
I'll also go ahead and say at the $15 auto crit, if you want to give me an auto fail, I'm game for that.
Right.
But if you want to give me an auto crit, yeah, that's all good too, because I got some
That's okay.
people who
That's
want to carve some stuff up here.
Nah. That's a no from me.
Okay, so Des, can you get them to go move to do
When they're close enough. I'm just
Did we determine how far away they are?
We did not. We'll say like 40 feet. The first one of the 3, they're in like a flying V formation, crawling out of the sand. The first one gets up. It's like,
What is that? A hairball?
It's glue! It's glue!
give us the mask and you can live.
Ooh, that's.
I don't think we shouldn't even talk to them. You should just get rid of them. That's what should happen, is just get rid of them. Right?
Yeah, that's just. Yep.
And as I hear them say that, I pull the mask out and I go, "This one, come and get it."
All right, that's what you want. And all around you hear like as more hands just start coming out of the sand and crawling up. And I mean, I guess that's a good point to roll initiative, right?
I'm just hoping I remember my turn on dead right, because I'm pretty sure if they fail, they instant die. So I'm just
What's the rating on that?
on turn on dead. I think right now, I'll have to check. Last I checked, it was at, I think it was a 1 or a half. I'll have to double check. Otherwise, they turn and run.
Did we get an estimate on how many there are? Yeah. Exactly.
I got some cool stuff.
Yeah. I could say you see 3 in front of you, and so you can guesstimate maybe a couple more from the sounds, but it was nighttime last we left off. I don't even remember. I think it was nighttime. So you're not really seeing anything yet, but yeah.
Okay. I hope you're really, really sure about this, Des. Like, really sure? Like, you really know?
We're gonna find out.
Okay.
I hate it. Hate it. Okay.
I'm just trying to wait until there's more within the 30 feet.
Des, what was your initiative?
Oh, I gotta roll that yet. Nat 20 plus 1.
You and the nat 20s on initiative rolls.
Me? I think that's my first nat 20 on initiative.
No, but did you use an auto crit on one?
Yeah,
Do I have
I
any?
think maybe.
Oh no, Ooh. What do I have? I think I still have.
Okay. So Desmond, lucky fella, the 2 up front are going to say, well, if that's your decision, we'll pry it out of your cold dead hands. And then shoot some longbows.
Big deal.
Deflect missile.
That you. Does a 15 and a 25 hit?
Yeah, one does and one barely does. Mine 15.
How?
Technically have a shield.
Since when?
Since always. I have a small one on my front of my arm.
That's
That's 28 damage from 1 as they hit you twice.
Oh, that's bad. I'm like looking deathly.
Does a 19 and a 15 hit?
Yeah, I'm going down. This is bad.
That's okay.
Well, are we doing that? Are we having Harlan?
How long has it been since our last battle?
I think we could use his help as a ranged.
Yeah. Okay, so I just want to point out, everybody, donate.
Hi.
Scary.
So we're really cute, and I think we're funny, and I don't want to die. Help.
Sorry, so I actually, well, no, I didn't. So the next one is 16 points of damage.
Okay,
Piercing.
so my question to you is, how long has it been since our last battle?
We just fought the worm last fight.
Yeah, I think like 2 hours.
Buddy. 2 hours since
Yeah.
you finished the worm?
Probably 2 hours. I think you did like one lot or one.
Yeah, we did one watch.
So as you hit me, I like drop to a knee, and like you see me struggling, and I kind of take a deep breath and stand back up. I look like crap and beaten to hell, kind of fade from conscious for half a second as I kneel down, but I would come back up.
I am suddenly so glad that I'm a paladin.
Okay, and next it is your turn, Des.
So how
Thank
many?
God he survived to get to a next turn.
Shit, damn, y'all.
How many are within 30 feet of me?
Would say the first 3 that have popped out are probably 30 feet, and the others are going to be outside of that range.
Okay.
I think we might want to wait until more of them are in the bubble.
Oh, I'm a step ahead of you, yeah. How's everybody else looking currently?
None of the rest of us have been hit.
Why is it always only me?
Nope. I'm down 20.
You're down 20? Okay.
But don't worry about me. I got you. I can heal myself.
Oh yeah, Harlan's at 38 out of 60.
So as I step back up, I kind of like look and flare my eyes even more and go, "You're gonna regret that." And I hit us all with a prayer healing, which will heal us all for 25.
Oh, bless.
Cool. Are you gonna move or?
Mm-mm.
No, I'm gonna stay where I'm at. Let me see if there's anything else I could do. I don't believe so. It's weird. Like I have healing word as a bonus action, but I don't think I can cast it with another spell if I've already cast one. So I think that's it. Yeah.
Cool. That would bring us to Kep and Newt. You're on deck.
Okay, great. I'm gonna launch myself off the rock. I'm gonna get right up to the closest one, and I'm going to take my +1 quarterstaff, and I'm gonna come down on them. Give them the big ol' smack. Oh no, I won't, because that is a. No, that's absolutely not gonna. 10? No.
No, close though.
Great. Okay. Well, I'm gonna miss, and then I'm going to immediately after that do the what's the okay, where did it go? I'm gonna do my searing arc strike. So I'm going to do wait, hang on. I just forgot. I'm going to do Fury of Blows. I'm going to hit him twice again.
Love it.
Okay, that's better. And I think I can use. I keep losing my stupid. I like moved everything. What is this? I literally just saw it. Okay, whatever. Anyway, that's too much stuff on here. That's 19 to hit. Oh my god, I'm like sweating. I'm so nervous. That is 5 points of damage, and I'm gonna hit again. Cocked. Okay, well, I'm so bad at math. 12.
12 points of damage. That's pretty good.
Oh no, 5. But then does a 12 hit?
Oh no, not quite.
Okay, well, cool. And then that's my turn, I guess. Oh wait, on the attack that hit, when you hit with a melee. Why is this at the bottom? When you hit with a melee attack, you can expend a spell slot to deal 2d8 extra radiant damage. Yeah, I want to use my Divine Smite. I knew I saw it, but I couldn't remember what it was. Okay, so that's 2d8. But I couldn't remember what it was. Okay, so that's 2d8. 9. That's another 9 points of damage.
Okay, it's pretty good. You did a little damage to him. Are you moving or is that?
Nope.
Okay, Newt.
Are there any skeletons that haven't attacked?
Yeah, the majority of them have not. The two
Okay.
in the front have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I am going to. I have to go to one of the ones in front actually to do this. So I'm going to go to the one in the front. I'm going to hit twice. That's a 14. Okay.
That will hit.
That will hit. Yay! That is 6, 9 points of damage for the first one. And ooh, that is a 23 to hit. And another 9 points of damage. And then I'm going to use Step of the Wind to back away.
Will you get an attack of opportunity with that, or is that what?
No, that's what Step of the Wind does. It's disengage.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Just double check. Yeah, that one you roughed up is looking a little in shambles.
Well, that's appropriate for it. Go with it.
That brings us to Harlan.
All right. Am I playing Harlan, y'all? I don't know how many attacks he gets, but I can go ahead and have him shoot. And okay, so I'm gonna have him shoot anyway, and it should be because Kep's still there. Should be sneak attack bonus. So
Sure.
Yeah, that is a 23 as well. And that's 8 points of damage, but then also I don't know how many dice he gets for sneak attack. Does anybody know?
Isn't it?
3?
D6.
3d6.
Maybe?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 13 additional points of damage.
Okay. Yeah. This thing goes down as you.
Yeah,
You
and
got
when
hit
I
with crossbow.
Sorry.
I'm assuming.
yeah. No, a bow. He has a bow, not a crossbow. Yay! Thank you for the donation, Birth and Oakleaf. Yay! You could pick your rewards before you go, so that we can have the badges.
Thank you.
So that we cannot die.
Yeah, and when Newt backed away, I'm backing away my full 45. And then Harlan's gonna back away some too. So that he's at least 45 also away from them.
Okay, perfect. All right. I think this one, one of the first three, we've dropped one. Cap is going to come towards you. Assuming a 10 misses, but a 19 hits.
Is that me?
Yes.
Yep. I thought I heard Capri, but I wasn't sure. So quiet, so I had to check. I'm so nervous. I'm sweating so much.
Thank you so much. It's awesome. I'm so excited to use that.
Yay! Should
Well,
while muted, so that's another $1 for Black Lives Matter from me.
It's only 8 points of slashing damage as it tries to swipe you with one sword, and you just like whoop, dodge out of the way.
Everyone else is
at you with
getting
the other one.
I'm getting 20. What is the 30s? What?
You got hit with 2 attacks, man. Yeah, or actually 4 attacks. I think there's a lot of dogs barking outside. Sorry, gang. Who's 14?
Where's Tuba Guy?
Not here yet. We'll see. He usually comes about midway.
Soon.
Yeah, he usually comes about midway.
We'll say Bruegel steps up and looks at one of them that is not damaged and says, you should really fight for us. And let's see if they save. Ooh, that's a nat 20. They save. That's unfortunate. Bruegel looks at all of you and says, well, that's very unfortunate. I swear this doesn't happen.
This never happens to me.
I can relate.
And one is going to fully climb out and take a couple shots at Tobias. Uh, 20 and a 16. That's max damage. That's 10 points of piercing damage as this thing fires a longbow shot at you and clips you. And it kind of gives a little laugh as some sand comes out of its not vocal cords. I don't know. They're mostly skeletal.
It's vocal cord bones.
Vocal bone.
Ugh. Ugh, no.
And the other one that pulls itself up is going to take a shot at we'll say Harlan. Does 15 and 23.
15 does not hit, 23 does.
That's only 5 points of piercing damage. As
Okay.
this guy, he's still got a little sand in the joints. Can't really get as much oomph behind it.
I would say that he, tilts his head a little bit, gives like a cocky smile, and like wipes blood off of like the little scratch on his cheek.
Fair enough. Desmond, where are you again?
Right where I was in the start. I'm not moving. And just like staring them down as they're coming at me.
Okay, and the one in the lead is actually going to charge right at you. You should have taken the offer. What's your AC?
15.
Oh, that's unfortunate. Both the swigs of the sword miss. as maybe it's just climbing up the rock and just like trying to stab down. So you use some sort of purchase, and it's misses both of its shots, or it's stabbies.
I'll take it.
After that, Kep, since you're still in the area, this other one's gonna strike at you again. 18 and 13.
13 no, 18 yes.
That is 10 points of slashing damage.
Fuck's sake.
Connects one of those hits with you. And Dez, you are up to bat.
And you're within 30.
Kep on deck. We'll say all of them are in 30 feet.
I was gonna say how.
Oh shit, yeah, Tobias. Sorry, you're way down at the bottom there with your 6.
Oh yeah.
Only ability. Oh no, wait, you've got 2 points.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll retcon and say you jump in there. You were spinning around or something.
I'm gonna kill that one.
The one with the initiative of 7.
Oh,
That guy. He's
that guy. He is unscathed at this point. Short rest is an hour, so yeah, I'd say each watch is 2 hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got a short rest in.
Don't do it.
Oh yeah, those will both hit.
Beauty. That'll do.
22. That's pretty good. They are. It looks like he looks about half as healthy as he did before you shot him. Okay. Yeah. How much damage? Sorry.
Just say the suspense is killing me.
Oh, nice. Yeah, they're struggling over there. Like it seems like just an entire arm falls off. You blasted it off, and then it's just looking around like, oh, my arm. And we'll go ahead. I don't remember where we left off now.
Believe me,
Do they feel pain? Like they have no nervous system.
it was more frustration of that it fell off.
Ah, that makes more sense.
Like when you lose your shoe,
My arm.
you're like, damn it, my shoe. It's like, similar feeling.
Yeah.
But I think, is
Yeah.
it me?
Yeah, that's Europe.
And you said they are all within range now?
Yeah, I think they're all basically within 30 feet. We'll give it to you.
All of them make a wisdom check. Or a wisdom saving throw, I believe.
DC?
15. Assuming they're undead. I think that's a fair assumption.
Yeah. One of them saves, the other three do not.
So if their CR is 1 or less, the 3 just into dust.
They are a little bit higher, a little bit beefier than 1.
They all turn then.
And just move their like full movement away?
I think so, yeah. Turn creature must spend its turn trying to move far away from you as it can. Turn creature must spend its turn trying to move far away from you as it can. Turn creature must you. So as long as everyone's around me, they can't get 30 feet to us.
Okay, and how long does that last?
1 minute.
Okay. I guess one more question. What is the range on the spell that you cast?
That I
Is
cast?
it just like sight, or is it like a radius?
It's 30 foot. 30 foot radius.
Hmm.
So anybody who can hear me and I can see or hear within 30 feet.
Oh, okay. Never mind then. We're good.
Yes. So if I hear them, it counts.
Okay. If you don't want to do any movement, it is Kep and then Newt on deck.
I'm just going to stay close to everybody because I know that we've got some range now.
Okay, I'm gonna go up to the next closest one, and I'm gonna give her a smack with my quarterstaff. Ooh, that is a 19 plus a lot of stuff.
That will hit.
And that's gonna be a D6. I'm going to use my last spell slot to get it in that sweet divine smite as well. So that is 8 points of damage plus another 5, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 points of damage to that one.
Okay.
Are they still standing?
Oh, yeah, well, yes.
Oh, yes. Okay. Then I am going to use a key point, and I'm going to use my Radiant Sunbolt, which does I just wrote this all down. I'm so sorry. I don't know why I can't read. Don't understand. Oh, yeah. Nope, that's a 3, so that misses. And then that one is gonna be
A 3 is unfortunate.
yeah. Um,
But you can use that sweet advantage, right? Or no, never mind.
Inspiration, right?
That's Newt and Desmond, right?
yeah, I don't think I have.
Also, I don't
Right.
think
Inspiration,
inspiration is
right?
going to
That's
save
Newt
you.
and Desmond, right?
Yeah, I don't think I have.
Also, I don't think
Inspiration,
inspiration is
right?
going to
hit on
save.
the second one either. That one, well, maybe 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15.
Yeah, that hits.
Oh, excellent! Yay. Oh, cocked.
Exciting. Excitement.
That's gonna be another 7 points of damage. Gonna be another 7 points of damage. I'm just gonna keep wasting.
It's dead now, right?
Another 7 points of damage.
It's not dead, but it's a little bruised. If
a little bruised.
Slightly dented and dinged.
Okay, that's my turn.
they're a little bent, not broken though. Newt.
All right, I'm gonna head to that one and try to hit it twice. That is a 20, diet 20 to hit. So that's 7 points of damage, and I'd like to try Stunning Strike. DC 15 Constitution saving throw.
No way. Does not save.
Okay. Then I'm gonna hit. There's one next to it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit that
it's
one.
Undamaged.
Okay. That doesn't hit though. That's a 11. And I'm gonna go ahead and use my bonus attack, which also misses. So that is me.
Okay. Are you staying in there? Are you?
I don't want
Up and
an attack of opportunity, so I'll stay there.
Okay, since
I've got me some hit points. Let's see how that goes.
you're right by one of them, they are going to take a couple swipes at you.
Nope, they're gonna turn and run. That's the failures. Just want to remind you which ones are which. Because I didn't know which ones were attacking who. And I don't know if you're talking to us, Adam, but you're muted.
Looks like I owe $1. Yes. The one that you were hitting is not one of the ones that ran away. So they're going to.
Cool.
23 and a 12, which I know the 12 does not hit. Newt.
Yes. The 23 hits, the 12 does not.
These damage dice are alive tonight. That is 10 points of slashing damage as it tries to hit you with 1, and you're just kind of like passively smack it away. The other one is like a stab, and it's like, oh, caught me off guard a little bit.
Yeah, but just gets kind of part of my side. Like, if there's some blood, but it's just part of my
Just
side.
a flesh wound.
It's just a flesh wound.
There was some
We
dirt
got
in
this.
it.
We all got this. I don't know if we got this. We're gonna try to got this.
You all hear
We don't got this.
as more undead arms just burst from the ground, and up now is Bruegel, and he looks at all of you and says, well, I think now's a good time to take a leave. And they open a portal, and on the other side of the portal you see pretty much the exact opposite of the desert. There's like lush gardens, there's rivers, there's lakes, there's giant like weeping willows, there's little pixies flying in and out of the branches. And she's
Oh.
like, you're all welcome to come, but I'm going to leave unless you want to try to take me to Hillsfar.
Where are we
As she
going?
says that, she's just like stepping through.
Let's go. Let's go.
I look around at the
Let's go.
undead, look around at them, and kind of hesitate for a moment because I want to take care of this problem. But
I grab Desmond.
Grab Desmond.
And I start
Grab him
going
and
for
yank him.
Yes.
Absolutely the fuck not. Basically, it's Newt and Peppery
Desmond
just
surprisingly
dragging.
goes easier than you thought.
It's a pretty place with pixies. I'm going.
Tobias is gonna sigh. He's gonna kind of strafe kind of back towards the portal, fire a couple of shots at whoever's getting a bit too close. I'm gonna turn to Harlan. I'm gonna point at the furthest one. I'm just gonna go, give you a gold if you can hit it in the head.
I reach out of the portal. I grab Harlan. I pull him in and say, Tobias, fucking come on in before it closes, idiot.
Yeah, Tobias, what's your AC?
Yeah, okay, I deserve that. 16.
Okay, so what are these hits? Take 5 points of damage as you're sitting there, like trying to make bets, and this arrow just right in the shoulder.
All right. Message received. Jesus and Pagora. All right.
I stick my head out of the portal again and say, who and what?
No, god damn it. I'll disappointedly step through. And as we get to the other side, the first thing I say before I even look out is, you could have let him at least take the shot.
I think we're all fine without placing bets and getting
Yeah,
shot by
it would've been
skeletons.
fun. Just
Look
the
at where
one.
we're at. Brugal?
Yeah, and looking around, you can hear like there's music in the air as just like the wind's blowing through, like just tons of chimes that are in these weeping willow trees that are just like dangling over the ponds and rivers. Yeah, we'll say rivers. And then not too far from you, there is a pretty decent sized town or village that is, all of the buildings are kind of made out of repurposed like giant toadstools. So it's very Smurfs, if you will. And Bruegel is just kind of like, yes, this is my lens. We're in the Feywild. If none of you have ever been, welcome.
It's really pretty.
Thanks. I hate it.
Yeah, this
Is
is
Bruegel's-
new.
Is Bruegel still tied up? The wrists.
No, they were they
Okay.
had, well, you don't know how they got loose the
Okay.
night prior, but they're loose at this point.
Is this where you're from?
Yes, these are my lands. And as you can rightly see, we protect them as best we can.
Is it very, very far away from the desert?
It's desert adjacent. We're in a different plane.
So is that far?
That's pretty far.
It's closer than you might think.
Wonderful. So,
Very confusing.
2 questions. 1, why did you not bring yourself here sooner? And 2, if you... oh,
I think he might be allergic to something in the Feywild, like pixie dust or something.
if you made yourself a big old target, then why didn't you just go ahead and leave us?
I mean, what fun is that?
Oh, that's a confidence-inspiring answer. All right.
I mean,
Is
sure.
it like you have to be somewhere specific to open a portal?
Well, there's certainly weaker points in the ethereal planes where you can slice through, but I can kind of go through wherever I please.
So yeah, why not earlier? I mean, fun. It didn't look like fun. You were like tied up and people were being awful to you. That's not fun.
Well, I've lived for thousands of years, so sometimes you've just got to spice things up.
That is without a doubt the weirdest. Okay, I hate it here. Get me out. Get me out right now. Get me out. I hate it.
You should cover your mouth when you sneeze. It's
Ruin me outfit.
poor hygiene.
There might be something I can help you out with. And they reach down and you see that there's like this tiny little creature. It's harvesting these little berries, and as Rugal reaches down, it kind of like extends up and says, "Here, try this. This might help." Airplane coming in.
I don't even know how Tobias would react to that.
Right,
Just
sorry.
stare, probably.
Like that?
What is it that
Nice
you're trying
switch,
to?
Corey. Nice switch.
What is it you're trying to give him?
Oh, it's something to help ease the sneezes, if you will. Just boop. She like pushes it up against your lip as you're like probably like lips clenched. Like boop. Just try it.
This is gonna be a terrible mistake, isn't it?
Well, you'll only try it once. See what happens. Let me know.
I'll go ahead and take the frickin' creepy Feywild berry. To wait to the wisdom save becoming. I'm also gonna I'm about to sneeze again. I look at Newt, kind of nod.
You bite into this thing, and it is like, at first it's super tart, and then just like the sweetness overcomes, and it tastes just like fucking delicious. And like immediately your sinuses clear up, and you also feel like you've had just like a full meal.
Oh, I just got good buried. Okay, this is fine.
Yeah, you
You've
did.
just been good buried.
This is fine.
I'm trying to think of what that would insinuate in like the real world, and I got nothing. I got just nothing.
You just got good buried. Yeah.
You've been good buried.
I'm Ashton Kutcher, and you've been like, what?
Oh no.
What do we do now that we're here? Because I don't think you want to go to Hillsfar where they're gonna do awful things to you.
Well, I have no intention of going to Hillsfar, but you are all welcome to stay here as long as you'd like.
I don't think we have anything else to do, guys.
I'm gonna give Bruegel a once over and just kind of see if they're being actually genuine or a little bit sketchy with the invitation.
I got proper like Mr. Burns. Don't forget, you're here forever. Vibes.
Yeah, like Bruegel is never not a little sketchy.
True.
Extra sketchy then.
Sure,
He's doing
this,
your best.
Insight check.
And that's what I'm hoping, because I really need to start using that +7 bonus for insight a little bit more. Except when you roll in that one.
Hmm.
Great.
They seem to be,
It's Brugal being brutal.
at face value. Yeah. And how about everybody give me a perception check while we're hanging out and we've just crossed over.
That is a
Big old 7.
11.
Can I use my passive, please?
5.
15 with disadvantage.
Oh wow, my passive is 11, so.
Oh no, wait, I can use
5
my.
with disadvantage.
You guys are rolling well. I'm not gonna use
Okay.
it.
Just like a really quick idea.
My passive's 19 now.
Sleep? Is there somewhere we can sleep? Sleep? Now that we're not being attacked by worms and undead and God knows what else.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighting that we barely made it out of. I
You're
technically didn't.
being awfully trusting of the current situation, but okay.
I don't know, Toby. I don't think we have much of a choice at this point.
Tobias, and yes, I understand.
It's such a long. Toby's so short.
I'm sorry, how tall are you?
We'll work on it.
What?
Is that a short joke? Better not be a feckin' short joke.
No. I just meant Tobias is a long-winded word.
It's like really hard for you to say an extra few like little syllables just to be respectful.
I just think close friends, sometimes it's fun to have nicknames for each other. That's why I like Des. It makes me feel connected to you guys.
So, dear sisters, what's the plan here?
Sleep. We should sleep.
Yeah.
I.
You should sleep first. Looking at Tobias.
Google, is there a place that we can sleep?
Preferably not under a mushroom. I feel like our poor friend here might wake up with hives or really itchy eyes or who knows.
Google?
Oh, well, my home is your home. If you would like to sleep anywhere, you can. Under the Weeping Willows is actually a very peaceful spot.
Is
Just
that literal or just the name of your homestead?
No, that's very literal, and just pointing at the willows. Although the pixies can, they can be a little at night sometimes because they are very excitable.
Like they talk a lot?
Oh yes.
Oh,
Usually they'll tire themselves out.
let's just sleep under the trees. We never really got like a break. We were supposed to have like a couple of weeks off and then we never did. We could do that now. It's so pretty here.
Well,
Okay.
being we're in another plane, I don't think we have much choice. And yeah, Tobias over here needs some sleep.
I'm still just nursing the cleared sinuses right now, as I'm just.
Well, I'm gonna start setting up to sleep. I mean, I don't think we have any of our like gear, like the poor camels. Oh, we
Oh,
left the
yeah.
camels with the skeleton.
Guinness!
Oh, yeah.
Jameson,
Oh, no.
O'Reilly!
Jameson!
Oh no!
Oh, the camels!
Oh, what have we done?
Oh no!
We're
So
gonna
we
go
can
back and it's just gonna be Ghost Rider. We're gonna see 3 skeletons riding horses.
Riding camels.
Yeah,
Riding camels.
three skeleton, like
Okay, cool. Get
skeletal
you drawing that.
camels.
Skeleton riding a skeletal camel. I'm
Well-
gonna just start finding a soft spot in the grass and curling up.
Yeah, I'll join.
Somebody should probably watch.
I'll
Oh,
take first
but-
watch.
Okay.
Tobias
Newt
is
is
gonna kind of.
asleep.
Tobias is just gonna kind of huddle up against a log or against a tree trunk. Just kind of sigh a little bit. Take a look around. Just, what the fuck have I gotten myself into? Kind of just lie back.
What is the temperature? Is it cool? Is it hot? Is it
Perfect in every way.
Yeah, it's like perfect. It's like a nice like 73 degrees, a gentle breeze coming over the water. The air kind of like smells like whatever your favorite scent is. Just vaguely though, not like overpowering. Like if you're walking into like a department store and they just like fog the place with it.
so it's not like a Hollister, got it.
Yeah, just hints of your favorite scent.
As I walk over and Tobias is against the tree, I take my cloak and I just like cover him with it.
I kind of just turn, nod, kind of just let my head sink back into the log a little bit.
I give you a small smile before I sit down and take first watch.
My eyes will kind of trail from Capri to Newt to Harlan to Desmond. Kind of just take a deep breath and then let myself sleep.
I try to convince Harlan to be my pillow. And I feel, since he's not here, that I'm successful.
I was going to say, I don't think you have to argue very hard. I think even if Harlan, Doug were here, it wouldn't take much.
Harlan, Doug.
Harlan, Doug. Harlan.
I want to have a sore neck.
It's too late for me.
Sleeping.
Yeah, Dez is out because he just went,
Yeah.
visited death and came back again. So he's out.
And I'm just watching.
Okay. Cap, you should go ahead and give me a perception check. Maybe, I guess, describe what you're doing. I don't know if you're like dipping your feet in the water, if you're in the
I'm
tree.
definitely like I'm in the middle of everybody, so I can keep an eye on everyone. And I don't know, I'm just taking in my surroundings, and I feel like probably if there's like any flowers, I'm like braiding flowers together to kind of just keep myself busy.
Tons of flowers.
Braid them into the ribbon on my quarterstaff, like just something to do with my hands. Oh, that's really good. That's a 19.
Sorry, what's that?
19.
19? Ooh, well, okay, that's pretty good. Yeah, looking around, it looks like the town that you're nearby, like there's people kind of celebrating the return of Bruegel. There's kids playing around. It's not too late, or time is kind of weird here as well. So it kind of looks like just dusk. It's not super dark, and you can see that you, Newt, and Desmond have like a weird purplish glow or aura, if you will, around you.
Would it be safe to assume that it's because we are sort of kind of magical?
What was the start of that? Sorry.
Would it be safe to assume that it's because magic / key energy woo shit, as some people call it?
Maybe.
My assumption.
You can tell that the aura around the two of you, Cap and Newt, is like full body. Around Dez, it seems to be more located in one area.
Is it his head? His feet? Like,
It would be
his
like
head?
around the
His feet?
side or back
Like,
area.
interesting. Oh. Oh, sorry, I said that out loud. Hmm. Just gonna make a mental note of that. I'm not gonna do anything about it yet. Yeah.
Okay. And then the rest of your watch goes by. I mean, it's like very uneventful aside from the ruckus going on in town. Who are you waking up second?
I'm gonna wake up Des because Newt and Tobias need so much sleep. They need all sleep. So
And Harlan is busy being my pillow.
yeah, so if I wake up Harlan, I'm gonna wake up Newt, so I don't want to do that. So I'll go over to
Not a very
Des.
light sleeper. She's not a very light sleeper.
Oh, but it's so cute. Like even nah. I'm gonna go over to Des and give him a little shake.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm up.
You mind taking next watch now that I've
No.
woken you up?
No, I don't. Why the fuck is it so bright?
I have no idea. Also, I'm going to poke your side.
And as I look to where she poked, I'm like shocked by, I'm assuming, by this bright glow coming off of my body.
Yeah, since your passive is 19, you would notice this as well. And
yeah,
her-
observer. So yeah, I see it and start kind of like patting myself down to try and figure out where the hell the source is coming from, because it's something I've never seen before. And I assume I find the source.
Yeah, rummaging in your pack, you touch the mask, and if you pull that out, you see that it has
do.
that same glow.
Yeah, and I do pull the mask out and kind of give it a once over and kind of stare at it. And
Yeah, I was afraid that that was going to be it.
The two of us glow the same color, Cap.
I know, I'm definitely.
That's not terrifying at all.
and I look at
Well, no, my. Never mind.
I look
can't-
at Cap and I notice that she's glowing as well, going, "Do you have like a Fey background? I feel like, why is it glowing now that we're here?"
I don't know why it would be glowing in Feywild, but we did find it in a cave that had primordial written all over it.
Just odd.
So I'm assuming it's this tangentially the same. Clearly not, but
Well, it's nothing we can do
maybe.
about it.
Maybe. Who knows? Who knows?
Well, it's nothing we can do about it now. You go rest, and I don't know. Maybe you should take this with you and hide it under your own glow. It might be easier for me to watch without this thing being a beacon.
Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah, I'll take it.
Just stay sheltered and try and keep, I guess, this light as hidden as much as possible. And I hand over the mask.
I'm gonna take the mask and I'm gonna take my waist sash and I'm gonna wrap it up and tuck it in my bag and hope.
I'll take it back in the morning, but I just don't know if it's a good thing for me sitting out in the dark with that thing.
Yeah, no, that's smart.
Go
That's
get some
terrifying.
rest.
Yeah. I'll give Desmond's shoulder a squeeze and then go lay down.
And I will hang out and keep watch.
Okay. And at this point, Newt, you find yourself in very unfamiliar setting. It's actually kind of like cramped, and you see an older gnome man, and you see a gnome which you recognize to be Harlan's mother, and she just like pulled out some sort of weird like cake that she has made. She says, "Harlan,
Are you Harlan's mom and dad?
are we Harlan's mom and dad? Of course we are. We're your parents."
No, that would be really weird. Ooh, no, I'm sure you're not my parents. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna look at myself.
I mean, you look like you.
Okay. Yeah, no, I mean, you can't, I'm a lot taller than Harlan and not, yeah, gross. No, I mean, you seem very nice, but you're not my parents. I'm really happy to meet
Stop
you.
being a goober. You know, we know you. You've always been a trickster. Harlan, come sit.
I think I might break that chair if I sit on it. But I'll sit. I'll go ahead and sit. I'll sit. I'm just, I'm just a little nervous, meet you. But no, I'll sit and yeah. Tell me everything about what Harlan was like when he was little.
She gives you like a weird look and it's like slices a bit of the cake off and gives it to you, and just like kind of pets your head like you were their own child. Said,
Oh, that's sweet.
"You've always been such a good boy. Can you just remember to bring the twins back to the island for us?"
The who? I don't. What are you? Huh?
"The twins, my darling. Bring the twins back to the island. We need them. You know this."
I don't know any other twins except me. I'm a twin, but I don't know any other ones. I don't know. And I don't even know you. Why are you asking me to do something like which island?
Ilkatab, the island where the twins are born. You know this all. We've talked about this at great length.
Have?
Arlen, eat your cake.
Where am I?
As you like look down at the cake, you see like it's kind of just filled with like maggots and all that nasty. There's wriggly worms all over it.
I let out a cry that I'm not going to do because it's going to be really loud. Then I scooch the chair back and I like kind of pull back. And I go, what are you? What is going on? Like, where are we? Who are you? I don't understand. I don't think that you're Harlan's mom. I really don't.
They cock their head to the side. And can you give me a say nature check? I think that's what we did last time.
Rolling at disadvantage or not? Because I'm asleep, but I was exhausted.
You've got inspiration.
That's all right. It's a -1 anyway, so and I've rolled 2 19s, so that's 18.
Perfect. Yeah, you for a brief moment you look at them and you see like them, but standing behind them is the image of Maladir. And in that moment, he sees you seeing him, and you wake up from your sleep.
Oh my god. Where am I? What's going on? Hey.
Would this happen to be like near the end of my watch?
We'll say it's the middle of your watch.
Okay, so as I hear her wake up, I'll like take a moment and like kind of go check on her, hearing the panic.
Sorry,
Hey,
that was
hey.
it was yeah. it was a bad dream.
Yeah, you're wrestling around there for a bit. You all right?
Yeah, I'm okay. Do I notice that I'm glowing purple?
What's your passive?
I think it's 13. Yeah, 13.
You would not notice it.
Okay.
Not
It
to
was-
freak you out more, but
Your face isn't that scary, Des. It's not. It's a little
I know.
pale, but
Just do this for a second. You not see it?
I assume I do not.
We'll say as you are paying attention to your hands, you do notice like a nice sheen of purple on your.
And I'll
Oh,
point over
thanks.
to Kepri and kind of draw attention. Is your sister's doing it too?
That's really well. I'm not doing anything. That's
No,
really
no,
cool. Was it a pixie? Because they kind of do things. They change
No.
things color.
no. The mask was doing it too. So
The mask was glowing or
yeah.
making us.
no,
That's-
it's glowing. It's weird that this is all happening and now you're having this dream. Like, what was the dream about? You seemed pretty startled.
It was nothing. Nothing
It doesn't
important.
seem like nothing. It seemed pretty intense, but I know dreams are tough to share. So if you don't want to, that's all right. But yeah, the mask was glowing. You and your sister were glowing. I don't have your sister's holding the mask. It wasn't safe for me to be holding it in the dark while I was keeping watch. So, yeah.
For podcast people, Newt is just playing around with her hand to watch the purple glow. I mean, it's creepy, but I kind of like it.
It is pretty neat, but I don't know.
You sure it wasn't just a pixie? Remember the
well,
bubble bath and it changed the colors of the you came later, like with the bubbles, like
no, but
change things colors.
we woke up. She woke me for my watch, and it was like this. So I don't know. We'll have to.
But we can they talk. So I'm gonna look up and see if there are any pixies.
Looking up, yeah, there's pixies. They're all kind of you see that there's actually like a weird there's a pixie like dance party going on in one of the bigger branches, and they're all like fucking full swing dancing. You see a couple pixies are just like throw it up over the edge.
Are there any pixie wallflowers?
Oh yeah, there's the cool ones that are just like smoking their little pixie cigarettes. Like,
Can I see any of them talking?
sure.
Can I see what language they're talking? Can I like?
We'll say for the sake of brevity, they're speaking Elvish.
Okay.
Elvish.
I think I do know Elvish. With my new feet, I can read lips.
Okay.
So as long as I can see their mouth moving and I understand the language, I can read their lips.
I'm gonna jump up and pull myself up on the branch, just so like my head is kind of going over the branch, and like kind of.
I was going
like-
for subtle, but all right.
See a
Wait,
bunch
but
of
that-
them
why
dancing,
just
like
be-
kind of scatter a little bit. They're whoa.
Oh no, it's okay. I just wanted. Can one of you talk because I'm glowing purple and I kind of want to know why.
I'm gonna stay alert because I'm still watching to see if anyone's coming around us.
Anybody
Well,
know why?
We're all glowing blue and green and orange and all types of colors.
You know, you look really cool, but I don't usually glow purple. Did one of you like do like a cool thing and make me purple or what? Do people usually glow purple here?
Not that I know of. We all kind of just do our whatever is your own magical abilities is how you glow.
Do you always glow the same color or do you change color sometimes?
Well, sometimes the Eladrin change colors, but they do that with the seasons, and we can do that too. Look at this. And they turn from like green glow to like orange.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Okay, well maybe we're doing something like the who? What are they called?
Eladrins.
The Ladrins. Okay. Maybe I can talk to them. Maybe they know what happened. Well, thank you. You didn't see anything weird happen like while we were asleep, did you?
No, we've been dancing and celebrating over here. I fucking drank a bunch of honeycup wine and I'm a little drunk.
What are you
Because
celebrating?
I'm little and I'm drunk. It's okay.
No, I mean, you are both of those things, so I don't. But what are you celebrating?
Just life.
That's pretty cool. I wish I could dance with you, but I'd probably hurt you. So I
Yeah, you
won't.
might crush us, but I mean, we could fly around you another time, maybe.
Okay, and you're
Ooh,
like,
and they'll start dancing with your fingers.
okay, I'm gonna finger dance with the pixies. I'll pull myself up on the end of the branch so I'm on the. I should probably go back to sleep here soon, but I'll do like one full song.
Yeah, there a couple of them are dancing with your fingers. They're spinning around, and like you like lift one up, and like a bunch of them twirl under it.
Yes!
An apt name, Burst of Hope. Thank you for the hot follow.
Thank you. All right. I'll do like a dance and like I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna come back another time. If I'm here tomorrow night, I'm gonna come back and dance with you, okay?
Okay, thanks.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
we'll see you then.
All right, I'm gonna go back to sleep because I'm real tired. All right, good night.
Bye. You just hear a chorus of them. Good night.
I love the pixies. They are my friends. I'm gonna go
they
back
are
to sleep.
so cute. I'm gonna die.
I'm gonna go back to sleep.
Did you find an answer? It seemed like
No,
you're having fun.
No. I mean, they're really good dancers though. That's cool. People, I guess, glow stuff like different. Some people called ladrons glow, and then the pixies glow, and
Well,
that
maybe
just
we
seems
can,
to be
we can
a
find out
thing.
some more in the morning. I don't know. We'll have to ask around.
Okay.
This is all new to me, so I don't get any of it.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go to sleep.
You rest. Do you want me to wake you for next watch?
I already did a watch.
Oh, right. Okay. I'll wake Tobias in the morning or in the next hour or so.
He did one too. We did one together. You'll have to wake Harlan as soon as Doug's here.
I
Or
don't
just
want to
wake
pull your
Harlan and it's
pillow from
uneventful.
underneath you.
Yeah. No, it's okay. I can use my arm. Just like whenever you wake him up, it's fine. I'll stay asleep. It's okay.
All right. So I'll continue my watch.
Okay. And yeah, just give me a perception check, or I guess describe us what you're doing. If you're, I don't know if you're fishing,
So
if you're
I'm
whittling
just-
something.
I'm hanging out, kind of found a tree or under a big mushroom or whatever, and I'm actually going to be kind of scanning around looking for the different foliage and different like mosses, and kind of like pulling my hands through the dirt and like kind of running my fingers through it and smelling it and just kind of like playing with all the different elements around me, just trying to get a better idea of what the hell this place is all about. Like super tempted to like cut a notch off a mushroom and like taste it, and like I even to the point where I cut one to see the color of the flesh and if it has any sort of sap that leaks out of it, and just
Yeah,
a lot of curious stuff.
You cut one open, and it actually looks like you have cut into a honeycomb, and there's like honey on your blade, and like a lot of like the flora and fauna like looks familiar, but it's just like slightly different. Like you'll see rainbow trout, but they also actually look like they're rainbow colored. Like catfish that have like a cat's tail instead of like a normal fish tail.
It's just me that thinks that's terrifying. That's weird.
It is a little terrifying. I don't know why I put that one in.
Yeah, that's how I spend my watch, just trying to like every once in a while look it up and scanning, and then just playing with more stuff.
Okay. And Cap.
I don't like that. Yes, hello, it is I.
As you're asleep,
Mm-hmm.
you're not having a great sleep.
Wow, thanks, Adam. Gosh, just a peach.
You've been having nightmare after nightmare that you can't really remember, but this one you find yourself in, it seems like you've woken up and you were just trapped in like a very small cage, like not really even enough room to move around, and you're suspended over darkness, and then all of a sudden it just drops, and it's not a far drop, like 15 feet maybe, and you come into like this muck, and it starts to sink. And after a moment or two, it's like waist level. And after a couple of other moments, it's chest level. And then it gets up to like your shoulders. And you hear a voice that says, I can help you if you'd like.
Do I see anything?
No, it's basically darkness, except for like you're in like this weird moonlight spotlight. You
Sure.
can sense that something is there, though.
I don't see anything.
No.
I'm kind of doing that thing when you're in a dream, but you're trying to realize you're in a dream.
Like telling yourself, wake up, wake up, wake up, type of thing.
Yeah, I feel like I'm trying to feel like what's around me and like saying it's not there, just wake up, just wake up.
Like sensing this says, all of this is very real.
No, you're not.
Are you certain?
Yeah.
And the rest of the cage sinks down a little bit. And you can it's up to your chin at this point. You can smell it and you can feel the like water on your chin. And like, maybe give me a constitution save.
Ooh. Oh, that's a 7.
Yeah, you're starting to panic. Like just the texture of everything like has you kind of questioning what you thought. It says, work with me
Who are you?
and I can save you.
Who are you?
Endless.
Are you currently trapped in a vial?
Nice and to the point.
Oh,
I am with you.
what are you?
I am a god.
I feel like I start to struggle. I try to like get myself up or like bend the bars. I like tell myself that the bars are made of really tiny branches and I just break them or try to break them.
Okay, let's do a wisdom save.
Yeah, buddy. That's the shit I do like. That's a 19.
Okay, yeah, you managed to break the bars. And as you do that, it's just like a maelstrom of activity around you. Like the water and the mud just starts swirling around and it pauses for a brief moment and then it all just kind of encapsulates you. And we'll say at this point, you are struggling for air and it's not finding you. You're holding your breath. And then you wake up, maybe out of breath. I don't know. It's up to you.
I feel like I give that. Why are like the yells you make when you first like when you wake up from a nightmare? Like it just feels like you're choked. It's just like it's just like a weird choking noise. I do that, but I can't do it because it's my roommate's sleeping. But I wake up and I'm freaking out. I jolt and kind of like scatter back, and I'm looking around.
Do I hear this?
Oh yeah.
So I
Yes.
get up from my watch and go and check on Kepri, and first thing I say when I walk up is to say, "You too, eh?"
I'm gonna reach in my bag, take the mask, and chuck it.
I'll go pick it up and come back and go. You weren't the only one that had a dream. Your sisters looked like it was just as bad.
The mask fucking talked to me.
What did it say?
I can help you.
Hard time believing that. Seems deceptive. But
Oh no, it sounded not great. It wasn't like a, like, oh hi, can I help you? It was like a, can I help you?
I know this was terrifying, obviously, but this might be able to help us.
Are you drunk?
Not actually help us. Information help us. Now we at least have some sort of guidance that, from what you're telling me, that this thing is seemingly not good.
I'm assuming the mask was broken for a reason.
I'm guessing so, but this is still all new. Are you all right? Let's worry about that first. That looked pretty intense. Like I said, your sister's was just as bad.
Yeah, I'm all right.
Take a breath and try and get back to sleep. And we should probably talk to your sister. Maybe she'll share with you what hers was about. Maybe it's relative. Didn't want to press, and she didn't want to share. It looked just as intense.
We gotta find a way to get rid of it.
Well, as long as we're holding it, it can't get into anybody else's hands.
I guess.
At least we know it's safe with us. I'll hold on to it now. I gotta switch off with Harlan pretty soon. He's gonna take over. I need to get a bit of sleep when I can. But these things weren't glowing. You weren't glowing in the more before we fell asleep. So hopefully, come day, it'll be.
Maybe.
Get some rest from now, and we'll talk with your sister in the morning. Try and figure all this out. It's just too coincidental now that we've showed up here and all this is happening.
Yeah.
Here.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. I kind of look over towards Newt and see that her and Harlan are still sleeping next to each other. So, and then I'll look over to Tobias and I'll look back to Newt. And then I'm going to go over next to Tobias and not get too close, but like closer because I'm a little shaken up. I want to be next to somebody. But I don't think Tobias likes me right now. But also, so I'll lay down next to Tobias and try to go back to sleep.
Yeah, and so you go back to sleep, and then Desmond, you finish out your watch.
As she tries to go to sleep, I just message her again, just because I haven't done my rest yet. And as she lays down, I'll go, remember what we did last time?
Hmm?
Just don't resist. And I cast Calm Emotions again.
Oh, that feels nice. And Kepri goes right back to sleep.
And I cast it for as many rounds as required to get her to rest.
Oh my god, this is better than melatonin.
That
Damn.
sounded like a portmanteau of maladeer and melatonin. Melatonin.
Did I say it wrong?
Yeah,
Melatonin?
it makes you sleep, but you have really bad dreams.
Melatonin does give you weird dreams, actually.
Doesn't give me weird dreams.
Oh, it gives me fucking weird dreams.
Yeah, then I go back to my watch.
Okay, and it goes, relatively uneventful. Like there's still some partying going on, and now it comes to the point where you can wake up, I believe, Harlan for the next watch. So
That's the
now
plan.
good time for us to take a little break. I don't think we're doing a giveaway, but
Yes, we are. We're doing a giveaway
right now?
during the break.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. And can I just say, like during the break, what would be really awesome would be if we came back from break and we would see that we got more money for Black Lives Matter, or the Trevor Project, and like this is the week for queer folk. Like let's show our solidarity and let's throw some money for Black Lives Matter and that cause. And the Trevor Project's also a great cause. So let's work for change and also help folks who are alone and scared right now. So please donate, and we'll be back really shortly.
After these, not commercial messages.
never said one.
Fun.
One. Yeah, it like stream lags, labs and stream lags. Yes, that was pretty accurate.
That's a good name for it.
Yeah, just super lagged out for a second.
I like that Cole and I were the only two. Everyone else was like,
Oh, I forgot about
okay,
dancing.
whatever you're doing. Yeah.
You just keep going with that. Have fun dancing.
Like a little Tybo. Welcome back, everyone. Congratulations to Brithan Oakleaf. I think I'm saying that right because you won some dice.
Yay!
And also, thank you earlier for the. I think you gave advantage to
Follow.
folks.
Yeah, I got inspiration. I still got to use
That's-
it.
Inspiration.
Is that who we got it from? Okay, then I
The-
like
so.
you even more.
You've got inspiration. All right, that's the last time I'm doing that.
Oh,
For this last 10 minutes. Okay. Last we left off, we had some nightmares, and Des was on watch, and he is waking up Harlan at this moment.
Yeah, so I'll walk over, and I'm assuming Newt is still sleeping on Harlan. And I'll just kind of give him a couple little jabs to the ribs with my foot to try and wake him up.
you dick.
They're-
Well,
They're not
Harlan will
terribly
wake up.
light, but they're not damaging.
Harlan will wake up and nod his understanding, and he will gently ease Newt's head down to the ground, trying not to wake her.
She sort of mumbles, but she didn't wake up. She's not a light sleeper.
Head of the world kind of thing, just thump.
You're up, buddy. I don't know what to tell you. This place is weird.
What else is new?
Mushrooms filled with honeycombs, and the dirt's odd. She's glowing. Like, this thing's glowing. Oh, just make it to morning, and we gotta figure this out.
What could go wrong?
We've traveled together long enough that you know the answer to that is anything and everything.
Yeah. Just get some sleep, buddy. Oh,
Yeah,
I got it from here.
I need it. I gotta go and take a rest. You need me in order to find me. I'll be over here, and I don't go too far. I try and like kind of arrange myself between Newt and Kepri and Tobias, just so that I'm kind of with the group and nobody's alone if something goes sideways.
Nice hand.
Yeah. Okay, Harlan, what are you doing for your watch here?
There is, I would like to point out, a pixie party happening in the tree above you. Just saying.
That's way up in the tree, though.
Oh yeah, as I lay down, I point up there and go, "Yeah, she loved that." So, something for you to talk about in the morning. Good night.
Good night. I don't know. For the watch, I'll just kind of hang out. I'll stay close to Newt's side and just kind of keep a watchful eye out for anything that might change. And yeah, I'm watching. It's a watch.
Fair. Yeah, go ahead and give me one of them fandangled perception checks.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I set the scene. Well, I didn't set the scene for you. I don't know if they told you, but you are right now under a weeping willow next to. I think y'all are by the pond or the river. Either way, it's a very serene setting. Lots of grass, much different from your desert that you'd spent several days in previously.
Well, it must be exceptionally serene because I rolled a 2. You know, we just leveled up. You think I would have done something to fix that, but
Everything's too pretty. It's just blues and greens and
what the fuck are they doing up there?
You are just in that bliss of having recently gotten over a little fight with your significant other, and so you're just kind of like looking down at Newt, and you're in the moment and not really paying attention to what's going on around you.
I'm the best at watching. We're all gonna die.
Let me roll some percentage dice.
I
Let's see.
would hope not.
Oh, percentage dice is never good.
Yeah, your watch goes by without anything happening. Who are you?
That
we
you
know
are
of.
aware of.
Same wavelength.
We have one more. We have one more watch going. Who are you waking up?
I have no idea who's
Everybody's had a watch, every single person, because Tobias and Newt did a watch together.
All right. I'll go over and give a good old Tobias just a little tap on the shoulder. Apparently that's good.
It's okay. It's not like I'm the only person with a point of exhaustion still. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, you would have known that Tobias is like extra tired and
it's
exhausted
not.
compared to everyone
I
else.
can do it. It's fine. It is absolutely. It's been said. I can do it.
It's like
it's cool.
Tobias has become Ray.
As Harlan steps over me, I'm like kind of wrestled in my sleep, and I go, "Call him Toby. He loves it now." I roll over.
All right. Well, I've committed to this now, so I'll walk over and I'll give him a little tap on the forehead, just whisper in his ear, "Toby, wake the fuck up."
Does point of exhaustion not go away with the long rest?
Yeah, but I had 2, so 1 point goes away with a long rest.
Oh, fuck. Okay.
I'm just gonna wake up, one eye open, just. Tobias.
That's what I said, Toby.
Kind of mockingly, like, goes for his pistol, just rolls his eyes. The feck do you want?
You know, I was gonna see if you felt up for a watch, but I didn't go back to sleep. Maybe I'll just I can take this one. I can take the hit on this
It's
one.
alright. It's alright. I kind of I'll do that thing where it's like, I'm up. Kind of. I'll go ahead and as I'm standing up, I'll take a look at the cloak. Take a look to the side. Just kind of grab it, pull it over a little bit, and just say, you might want to go back and I think pillow duty was the last thing you were on when I last saw you.
I mean, I'm pretty amazing at that, so.
You give her comfort and you make each other happy. That's the important part.
Damn right it is. You alright? You good to go?
Aye. And when as soon as Harlan turns around, I'm gonna go ahead and kind of take a bit of a deeper breath and just be like, come on now, Tobias, look after your fucking kids. And I'll turn around and cover Kepri with the blanket and just be like, grudges aren't worth it. And just kind of joking to myself as I go ahead and set up watch.
Okay. And what are you doing on your watch? Are you? No, you're a little groggy. Are you going near the water? Are you just hanging out there in the middle of everybody? Are you stoking a fire? I don't know if y'all started a fire. Are you starting a fire? Are you cooking something?
It would depend on how sure Tobias is that everyone is asleep. 'Cause, yeah.
I'm real fucking asleep. I am very clearly asleep.
Tobias is, like, hyper vigilant. He is super jumpy, he is super nervous, and is very uncomfortable.
It's basically been like 48 hours since y'all have gotten a full rest, so I think it's safe to say everybody's knocked out.
Yeah. So he is probably meticulously just like cleaning over his weapon, making sure that's definitely working. The slightest sound, he's straight away just zooming in on. Tobias is super uncomfortable. And just trying to make sure that everything is not going to go terribly. We'll probably go ahead and turn around and double check across the party. look towards Harlan, Newt, Kepri, Des, just make sure they're okay, and look back.
Can you give me a perception check?
Disadvantage, god damn it. That would have been really good, but it wasn't. Perception, yeah? That is a 5.
Yes, sir. Ooh, yeah, you
Would have been a 22. Instead, it was a
Don't-
5.
you don't notice anything.
Exciting. Good.
Desmond,
Uh,
does a 19 hit?
yes.
You are awakened by some piercing damage as a nice little bite. And can you give me a con save as well, please?
Oh, sweet. That's a 4. Uh-oh, did we lose him?
It looks like we
Nice.
lost Adam.
I can
Hello?
see you all.
Oh,
I
You're like-
mean, he's not here. It was an 18.
Yeah. You're still on stream.
Okay,
I
I
think we
don't
got
know.
shuffled around, maybe.
There you go.
No,
yeah,
yeah.
our
Oh.
cameras have all done a
I'm
little shuffle.
Des.
We're just trying
I'm
out
the
each other's
cleric
places.
now.
Yeah.
My cleric now. All of the
Hey,
heals.
I'm so
I don't know
tall.
what's happened. So
I'm so tall.
I'm gonna go on like a small rant here while I can't even see myself. So we have Spectrum over here, which is a great company. That's a little bit.
That's an interesting way of saying trash.
That's saying we
yes.
never want Spectrum to be our
Yes.
sponsors because they could have been.
Nah, well, maybe, but
Nah.
no, fuck them. So they sent us a new router and modem, and basically they're like, hey, you have to switch over to this, or else we're gonna cut off your internet. So switch
Yep.
over to this. We switched over, and our internet is fucking worse than it was before.
Oh, and if you ask for like the if you pay for the highest speed, it won't be the highest speed, and then you'll call and be like, "Hey, my internet's not at the right speed." It'll magically fix itself.
Yeah, it sounds like
Yeah.
Rogers.
Fucking
Sounds
capitalism.
like every company.
Spectrum is the only provider we can use in New York, even though they've already been like kicked out of the state, but they won't like actually leave.
I just want to say, Cole, right now you're in the DM slot according to Twitch.
I'm fixing it.
So,
Excellent. Okay, so that bite you felt, Desmond, it suddenly didn't happen.
Mosquito.
Is my,
totally
is my
nothing.
video
Just
back
brush it
yet?
off.
I can't see myself.
I can't see you either.
Adam, I missed the sight of you.
Okay.
We miss you.
The tech issues we know. Bear with us.
Yeah, that's tune in every Tuesday for some drastic.
If they can hear Adam, do
D&D
we want to keep?
troubleshooting is what we're going to
Yeah.
start calling this.
If
No,
they can
we
hear Adam, do we want to keep playing?
Yeah, we can keep going.
Yeah.
They don't need to see me. That's fine.
Yeah, and
I'm gonna go ahead and take my
Yeah.
shirt off if that's the case.
Go on.
suddenly the camera comes back on.
That's
Why do you
so-
wear tighty whities?
I don't. You
Shirt, not pants.
No, the
Hey,
pants are.
if-
To be fair, the pants are already off.
The pants were never on.
That's not the damn
All right.
truth. I don't know what is. Right, okay.
That's my inspiration.
Pants never
Oh,
being on.
thanks for the
right.
reminder, because I just rolled shit.
Oh, damn it!
Yes. Yes.
Cool.
No.
Okay, I think everyone is back in the places they should be now. Fingers crossed. Let me know, people.
Let's just keep
So
going.
that inspiration
Very
turns
good.
my 4 into a 22.
You
Thank you.
you monster. Okay.
Yes.
Well, you say that, but
Wait a minute.
Come on.
You say that, but a meteor hits you.
I was gonna say, suddenly, Meteor Swarm take 20d6 bludgeoning and
You're
20d6.
banished to the water realm or the water realm, and you drown.
You take the I think it was 3 piercing damage, and then on top of that 8 poison damage. As we'll go ahead and say, Tobias, you rolled very poorly on your perception. Desmond, you wake up to see this very large blue and white spider just on top of you, and it has pierced you, and it's got like its little like pincer, and it's like starting to try to make a little web.
Do I have a moment to react and like try and hit it with something?
Sure.
So I'll reach over and grab it, and as I grab it, I'll hit it with inflict wounds.
Okay.
And
Where are you grabbing it?
What like I'm just gonna like I just need to touch it, so I'm just gonna like grab a leg or something if it's that big.
Okay, yeah, it's got 8 legs. You could probably grab one of them.
All right, cool. So 3rd level inflict wounds, 5d10 plus 7. Have fun. 29.
29 damage.
Sorry, I got a hit. Sorry, hold on. I forgot to roll the hit.
Sure.
I'm still learning these dice rollers because they're really fun. I got all excited and just rolled damage instead.
Okay.
How do I roll the hit here?
I'm assuming everyone can still hear me.
Oh yeah, we can still hear you. I'm just playing.
Okay, cool.
Wasting, and here we go. I got it now. To hit is a 25.
Oddly misses.
I'm assuming you're being amusing. I can't see your face.
No, I'm kidding. Yeah, that hits.
So I'll go with
Very much so.
rolls unless we want me to reroll my damage, but it was 29.
Just go with that.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah,
But if I
you
reroll, it could have been more. But yeah, no, I
touch
agree.
this thing, and we'll say it just and its guts, like you touch its like lower thorax. I don't know, it's abdomen of the spider. I don't know spider anatomy, guys. Don't rake me up there, Cole.
I think you were right with thorax, weren't you?
You touch that. You touch that, and the guts just spill all over your body, and this thing falls kind of dead on. Well, not kind of, very dead.
Kinda
on top
dead.
of you.
Does I like wake up and then kind of roll over and what the is this thing? And I kind of like throw it to the ground beside me.
Well, it's pretty big. So you struggle for
I
a moment.
push
and
it
you can,
off
like,
of me then.
You can slide it off of you.
This is like friggin' Honey, I Shrunk the Kids shit. They're like,
Yeah, and so this large spider is dead, and I would assume we'll just go ahead and with our past experiences with that spell, everyone sleeping in the immediate area and or watching with low perception rolls could hear that and notice this thing.
God, oh God, what is it? What is it? What's going? Ew.
yeah, I did it again, but it hit me first.
It's just, oh God, ew.
You're right there.
Yeah,
Can you get this off?
You look like
Tobias.
the worst popsicle I've ever seen.
Tobias, I have my guts on me.
Oh, it's on you as well. Oh, shit.
it's
All right.
everywhere.
I'll go ahead and press the digitation.
Thank you.
It got me a little bit, but I'm all right. Like I'm not.
I feel like at this point I'm just the fairy godmother. I'm just pressing digitation. Just,
You're the group laundromat and hairdresser and cosmetologist.
I'll do a once around and prestidigitate everybody.
Well, I didn't necessarily mean that. I meant this, and like I pulled like the wound open where it like got me, and like probably like black and ichor because of the poison and stuff like that. But you know, it'll be all right. And I literally grab some dirt and like shove it in it and brush it off.
You got bit by a giant spider?
Yeah, well,
Who was on watch?
I left Harlan. I don't know what happened after that. He was up at one point. I know. I remember seeing him walk across.
Was that?
Yeah, it's totally my bad. I fucked up. So that's my bad. Don't worry about it. Sorry, there, Des.
I've had worse. Kellenbor's got my back. If anything worse has happened, we took care of it nice and quick.
Yeah, she'll do a good job guiding you right to the death.
And back again.
Yeah. Gonna pat Des on the shoulder and.
Newt has a smile where she totally knows that Harlan's full of shit. 100%.
And Desmond looks over to Newt and goes, and like kind of like acknowledges that he is totally full of shit.
Yeah.
He sees it too.
How dare you?
Is it what time is it? Is it morning or we?
Yeah, we'll say at this point it's probably dawnish.
Guess we're up. I guess. Yeah. Ew. Are the pixies still there?
Yeah, they're all just passed out at this point, or most of
I was
them are
gonna
passed
say,
out
are
at
they
this
all
point.
just wiped?
You see,
I'm
like
gonna-
there's like some little flowers that were actually like tankards of like ale that are just strewn all about.
I am going to collect flower petals and leaves, and then as quietly as I can, I'm going to climb up to that branch and I'm going to give them flower petal blankets and leaf blankets.
Shut up. That's so cute.
Nice, and you see them; they're like snuggling into it.
Newt never wants to leave this place.
You see Desmond as he gets ready, like kind of brushes the dirt off and checks the wound and like puts his hand on it and like kind of gives himself a little bit of a pulse of like black energy, and I'm gonna hit myself with cure wounds. I think it's cure wounds I have as a bonus action.
Newt, if you haven't looked at your
Healing
quarterstaff yet, do you have a ribbon tied around
No.
yours?
It's just plain with some carving. There's no ribbon.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. You find a really cute like flower bracelet that kept braided, and she left it on your quarterstaff.
That's cute.
Yeah,
Okay, she'll put it on.
That's what she did during her watch. Actually, fuck it.
I
I think
finger danced
everyone,
with pixies though, so
I think everyone has cute little flower bracelets, and like all the colors match. If I could find the right colored flowers,
awesome. Does everyone put them on?
my feelings will be so hurt.
Tobias isn't wearing his for a very specific reason.
Everybody else, do you put on the pretty flower bracelet that Kepri made you?
I made you a
Bracelet?
friendship
Yeah.
bracelet.
Definitely. Oh, Desmond grabs it and thinks it's like really cool and like puts it on, and Lily starts like in kind of checking out every individual flower. Not that he's like really interested in how pretty it is. He's actually like looking at the flowers to try and like understand them. But he's like puts it on willingly, completely.
Oh, Lily Harlan. Hey, I made that.
Harlan will sigh and slip the bracelet on.
So reluctant.
Up pretty up tough.
Well, that's the true sign of a tough individual, is that they can show, a softer side
There you go.
and not be afraid of that.
Real
Embrace
men
it.
love flowers. Real men
Yeah.
love flowers.
That's our new T-shirt. Real men love flowers.
Love flowers. I like that.
We gotta start writing these down.
For
Yeah,
real.
we've said about 40 T-shirt ideas, and no one's written any of them down.
There's only one I haven't
All
forgotten,
recorded.
but-
True.
I feel like the sweat drop comes down. Can we put that in post?
I can help. We got you.
Harlan, when you have the chance, I should talk. It's not like a big thing that I did. There's no like secret. I did.
Yeah.
You want to go see the lake? It's pretty.
Lead on.
We'll be back. I think I saw your mom and dad.
Come again?
I'm going to start describing the man that I saw in the house and describing the inside of the house. Adam.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I can't see any of
it's
your
okay.
reactions. So
All
just go ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to start describing them to see if they match Harlan's memory.
Yes, they will.
And then I'm going to start describing how the cake smelled and looked before I saw the other stuff in it. Is that like something that your mom liked to make for you? Because it's definitely her.
What the hell?
Yeah, I was asleep, but like I wasn't. If I saw things that I've never seen before and they're real, but they thought I was you. And they I guess they couldn't see that I was me, and I sat down at the table and I went to eat the cake, but then it was full of worms, which I'm pretty sure is not actually a thing that you eat. And then I looked up and your mom was telling me to take the twins to Ilkutep, the island where my monastery is, and she told me that she told you many times. And then when I looked up, Malader was standing behind them in the house. She hasn't told you to take us to the island in like a dream or anything.
No, nothing. I don't understand. I don't.
Well, I mean, the upside is I've met your dad. So there's that.
Yeah.
He liked me, but he thought I was you, so that doesn't really count. It was really creepy and weird, and I don't know.
Well, so, we okay. I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't. You
Kepri
saw.
had weird dreams when she had the vial,
Oh,
but they were like about us and about our monastery. They were about things that she already knew and people she'd already seen. They weren't this was you and your life. And like I said, they thought I was you.
I guess the thing you, but whatever you did with the souls, I think that really took.
Oh. So it was like the vial couldn't tell.
I think so.
Makes sense. I didn't want to tell everybody else. I thought it was kind of important, but I wanted to talk to you about it first since it was your mom and dad. And I mean, I'm sure that it's just pretend mom and dad and not really your mom and dad, but it kind of makes them look bad. So I wanted to do it first.
Did they say anything else?
Well, they just wouldn't believe me that it wasn't you, and they were very fond and sweet until I found maggots in the cake, and then they were weird, and they just kept telling me that they've told you many times to take us to the island.
When you say they were,
Hmm?
when you say they were weird, how do you mean weird?
Well, like they couldn't tell that I wasn't you, and I kept trying to point it out, and they kept thinking that I was joking. And they served me a worm cake, which is kind of weird. That's weird, right? That's not a thing that you eat, is
That's
it?
not no, that's not a thing.
Okay. All right. Just making sure. So I mean those, and then Malager was there sort of staring over them, and that was weird too. But that's what I mean.
Did they know that I haven't seen them in a while?
No, they seemed to think it was totally normal that you were there. They seemed really happy. Really happy.
We're together?
Yeah. I don't know if it was really them. I could try to figure it out. If I dream it again and I can really pay attention, I could probably figure out if it's really their spirits or if it's just fake stuff that the vial's doing.
It's probably just fake stuff the vial's doing.
Probably. I'm sure. It wasn't really them.
Do you want to go back to Ilkatep?
It seems pretty dangerous to me. It doesn't seem like a good idea. Not at all.
Okay.
And I mean, if Maladir and the vial want me back there, that's probably not a thing that I should do. Oh, also, I was glowing. And I don't mean I was really happy. I mean, like, I was actually, like, glowing, like, real glowing. Like, purple. Yeah, and so was Kep. And so was the mask.
The fuck happened while I was asleep?
I mean, there was also a pixie party, and that was really cool. I got to dance with pixies. That was really like that. So that happened too. And it was kind of cool that I was glowing because then my hand glowed, like, along with all the other pixies. It was really neat. So there was, you know, if it weren't for the fact that the mask was glowing, that kind of would have been the most awesome thing ever.
No, we just gotta get rid of the mask.
Somehow. We could just give it to Bargle, whatever her name is.
Frugal?
Frugal! Burble.
Who the fuck
Babble.
is Burgle?
It's Bruegel's best friend.
Oh.
Yeah. Anyway, I don't know if you want to tell everybody else. I wanted you to hear first about it.
What do you want to do with that? Do you want to go back there?
To tell everybody else?
To Ilkatep.
I don't see a reason why. I don't see how that would help anything.
Do you think that there's a possibility Abbot Mother's alive?
She said that she was, but then she couldn't tell us where, which makes me think that she's not at the monastery.
Do you have no other way of knowing where she went?
Not that I know of. Can't think of anything. I mean, maybe Kep could. That's kind of the stuff that she's good at. I don't think about stuff like that real good.
So maybe you talk to Kep about what you saw. If you two decide that you want to go back there, we can go back there and look for any sign of her, any sign of where she went. We can figure out something to do from there.
I mean,
if you two want.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to do what the vial wants.
No.
Is it because your mom told me to?
No, it's... I don't know. It's just... What do you want to do?
Not have to do any of this and just stay somewhere pretty forever and be happy?
I think we got to do this first to get to that.
No. Do whatever we need to do to get it over with? Does that mean we have to go back to the monastery?
It might. You take her hands in his, look her in the eyes, talk to Kepri first.
Okay.
That's your home. That's up to you two. If you say no, we're not going there, then we won't go there.
Okay. Right, I'll talk to her.
Okay. Do you want me to take that vial for a little bit? It seems like it's giving you a bit of a rough go.
I mean, if it's going to give us nightmares, maybe we should trade off when we sleep.
It's not a bad idea.
Okay. I'll take the vial and hand it to him.
All right. And he will pocket it.
I'll go back and talk to Kep when there's a chance. I'm not jumping into that. And you had other things, guys. Nope. You want me to?
I don't know. Is anybody?
Yeah.
Tobias is chilling.
Kep.
Yeah.
Do you want to go on a walk with me? It's really pretty there.
Capri is gonna give Newt a look, kind of like, I know what this is, and she'll follow Newt.
So get out of your shot and be like, okay. So I dreamed about Harlan's mom and dad, and they thought I was Harlan, and there was a cake and it had worms in it, and it was really gross. And then Maladir was there, and they all wanted us to go back to Ilkatep. So that's what I dreamed. So that's what happened. What should we do?
um, uh,
That's a lot of information in a short period of time.
That's a lot to unpack.
There was just so many words.
follow-up questions.
Okay.
Was it actually Harlan and Newt's parents? Did
Harlan's parents? That would be weird if they were my parents too.
Right. Was Harlan told that?
I asked him and I described it, and he said that was definitely them, and that was his house where he grew up.
So it was definitely them. Did he know about the island?
I mean, he knows about the island. We've talked about the island. We even showed him the island when we were in Telkir.
Right.
He knows all about that. But he wasn't dreaming it, I was. He thinks that maybe we have to go back there in order to get this all over with. And that maybe if we go back, we can find Abbot Mother. But also, like, in the dream, his mom really wanted us to go. She kept telling me, because she thought I was him, that she told him over and over again to take us to the island. And then I looked up and Maladir was standing behind them. So I don't know if they were trying to help or trying to hurt. And they gave me cake with worms in it, and I don't think that was very helpful. But maybe they were trying to help, and then something got through.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Because what they gave you, it wasn't worms at first.
No, it was just cake, and they were really sweet. So, like, it could be their spirits trying to tell us what we need to do, or it could be the vial.
Also, we're in the Feywild, too.
It could be that. Yeah, I mean, I don't know why it would be the vial. I don't have the vial. Harlan does, so that doesn't make any sense. So it was just a weird dream, I guess, from being in the Feywild.
Yeah, I thought Harlan had the vial.
Yeah, he does.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a lot. Do you mind if I put a pin in that and tell you what I saw too?
Oh no, what did you see? Did you see the pixies?
God, I wish. No.
Did you see that we were glowing purple?
I did see that. Did you know the mask is also glowing purple?
Yeah, that kind of makes it less fun.
So
it was really cool, but yeah.
I was like in this cage in, I think, like a cavern, and I was lowered into like this sludge, and it like came up to here, and I felt like I was choking, and then I heard a voice, and it was all like, ask me for help. And I was like, no, fuck you, I'm definitely dreaming. And then I didn't think I was dreaming, because the voice was like, are you sure about that? And I was like, no, I'm not anymore, because now I'm choking on like mud and all this gross shit. And then I had to like break out of the cage, and the everything just like came crashing down on me, and then I woke up in a panic, and it turns out it was the mask talking to me. So
how do you know it was the mask?
Because I asked it. Oh, the dream is like fuzzy. I asked it something, and it said, I'm with you. And I took the mask from Desmond because we thought that it glowing on him was like, it was obvious like where he was carrying it, and was like, we were like, I'm already glowing, so like I'll just take it. But
it wasn't like the mask was talking, or like you didn't see its mouth move or anything like that.
No, but it was definitely the mask. I know it.
I don't understand how you know that.
I just do.
Okay.
At first I thought it was the vial, but it's not. It was the mask. Oh, it said something like, I'm a god.
That's worse than worm cake.
They're both not great.
No, but yours was worse. That was worse. That was way worse. Yeah. You know, I got to meet his dad. It was
That's
pretty
pretty-
cool.
That's
It was
kind
sort
of cool.
Until it got like really bad. It was kind of nice. I mean, it was weird because they thought it was him, and that was really strange. But it was kind of cool
Ugh.
too.
Yeah.
It just wasn't cool at all. There was like no cool. It was just all bad.
Um. So that's a lot.
And then I woke up and I had a bracelet. So that made it a lot better too.
I missed making those at the monastery when they had all the different color like twine and stuff, and we
Yeah,
used
yeah,
to make
yeah.
bracelets out of them. That was fun.
I was way better at making the crowns than like way better.
That's true. I'll let you have that one. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah, it's not even letting me. It's just the truth.
Ow.
But these are really pretty.
How'd you think so?
Yeah. Desmond can carry the mask, right?
I'm not touching it again, so
Oh, good. Okay,
he's
good.
gonna have to. I don't want that. I had
Maybe
enough
we'll-
bad dreams with the vial. I
Maybe
don't
we'll
want
just keep
those.
glowing though. Like maybe it like gave us the
My
glowing, and then
thought-
we'll get rid of it, and then we'll keep glowing. That would be
I
cool.
thought about the mask.
Uh-huh.
I wish there was someone we could ask about it, but we did find it, the shards in a cave with primordial written on the walls.
Okay.
So maybe that's glowing and we're glowing because we're both from the primordial plane. That's my best guess, but I have no idea.
I
That's
mean,
just-
why would we all glow the same just because we were from the same country?
More like different plane. Primordial. The elementals are like. Don't remember what I read, but we're not. Obviously, we're not Fae, but it's like Fae to the left, way to the left.
She looks to her left.
Oh no!
I don't.
It's like
Maybe we're gonna keep glowing. Okay, let's just. Maybe we'll
Yeah.
keep glowing.
yeah, sure.
All right. So we need to decide if we want to go to Ilkatep. I don't even know how we get there from here. I kind of want to just stay here and take a break, but Harlan wants to know what we want to do.
I say we're glowing here. I kind of want to find out why and what that has to do with the mask. I want to know if anyone here knows anything about the mask. Maybe someone here can destroy the mask.
But after that, or after the next thing, or after the next thing,
might have
I
to face the music.
I think we're gonna end up back there.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I'll let him know we're not against it.
Okay.
You don't think that they've actually been in his head telling him to get us to the island, do you?
No.
Like all along?
No.
He would have told me. All right, just asking. They
That
just
and I feel like I don't know. He wouldn't. I think. Yeah, I don't know. I just don't think so.
no, I don't think so either. They just seem so sure of themselves. That's all. It was weird. Okay,
Yeah.
let's go back. Maybe we can get them to like let us go like cool fun places here for a little bit.
Yeah. Let's go do that.
Go back.
Emotional sister moment was a good time to get raided. Hey, Thread Raiders.
The Red Raiders! Hi,
Thanks,
Sean!
gang.
What's up,
Thank you for
everybody?
joining us.
Hey, folks.
Thanks for the raid.
Is Sean there?
Haven't seen Sean.
Hi, Sean. If you're there, we love you.
Hi, Sean. Hi, Soup.
It's okay. There's a whole bunch of other lovely people in there.
Okay, so guys,
awesome.
we've decided that we want to keep glowing purple. So we're going to stay here for a little bit and find out why we're glowing purple so that we can keep doing that.
Also, maybe someone here can destroy the mask.
That too. And then eventually maybe we have to go back to our island. But really, we're going to stay here and not glow and keep glowing.
Back to your island.
Maybe eventually might be a thing. But for a while, we'll be here.
Ilkatep, where the monastery is, and there's an asshole in charge right now. So might have to face the music. Not today, though.
I mean,
Adam, would I know anything about Inkletap?
Roll a history for me.
Oh, okay. Never heard of it.
Okay. Yeah, it's not coming to you. You've heard the twins talk about it a bit, but you're just like, all these islands kind of have similar names: Ilkatep, Spiltatep,
Ilkatap, Schmilkatap, I don't know.
oh no, that's on the other side of the continent. That's really yeah they're very different.
Gosh darn
East
it.
and your west switched.
We actually like every year we have like a football tournament. Ilkatep versus Schmilkatep.
Oh no.
Like a really big.
Those like American college tryout thingies that you see in the
it's
films.
a nice friend.
No, this is more serious. It's like, what is it? Man United versus Chelsea? Is it Chelsea?
Oh
It's
gosh.
like that, but with monks.
Gosh, like Premier League.
Yeah, and whoever
So, like-
loses has to swim home.
Oh,
We've lost a few to sharks, you know.
Oh,
that's
yeah.
fine.
Yeah. Oh,
Okay, so
man.
like, where are we gonna go? What are we gonna do to figure out about the glowing stuff? I can ask the pixies tomorrow. I mean, tonight. I'm gonna dance with them tonight. I can ask them.
Pixies.
She points up the tree. Oh, the pixies. You really weren't paying very good attention when you were on watch.
Tobias kind of looks up. I assume I see a collection of pixies that may or may not be completely wasted at this point.
I think they're asleep.
Uh-huh.
Also, our squares did the squares shift around or? Nope, they stayed. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. He put his shirt back on right before the camera came back.
To see a shirt on.
I can't even see myself. I don't know what's going on over here, folks.
We can see you, and you're clothed, so we're good.
Cool.
So, like,
Yeah.
in celebration of Adam being back, I just want to remind everyone that we're raising funds for Black Lives Matter, and we're raising funds for the Trevor Project. And this is the week that the queer community showed up in force for LGBTQIA Black folks. So it's a great time to donate money to Black Lives Matter. Either charity would be wonderful. There's a bunch of incentives and rewards. If you do, you could help us out a lot if you do that. And there's also stuff for you. And we'll be doing a drawing in a little bit for some dice from Heartbeat Dice. But yeah, please donate. Please give. Right back to.
Yeah, we'll say as you're all conversing with each other, you notice that there's a little bit of a caravan of people heading your way, and lots of like children and adults and everybody like carrying food and like tables and benches, and they're kind of heading over to you, and like you see Bruegel is in the back, and they've got like this.
Typical Bruegel fashion, yes.
Yes, look going in. It's like, good morning. How was your first sleep in the Feywild?
It was really cool, except for the giant spider. Can I help you set up?
Giant spiders?
Oh, you can ask Desmond.
I'd show you, but there's not much left of it.
They look around. Oh. Yes, I'm afraid that the doorways between our realms aren't so thick, so they might pop through here and then.
Where the fuck did that one come from?
Oh, the shadow realm.
Oh,
As
Made
I
short work of it. It was all right.
Well, that's good. As I told your cleric before, you are kind of a beacon with what you're carrying, and being here is kind of amplifies that. But no need to worry about that now. Let's have breakfast.
You're saying that what we're carrying brought that spider from the Shadow Realm.
Yes, very much so. You are like a lighthouse in the darkness right now.
We're a flame to a moth, is what you're telling me.
Potato, potato.
Well, Capri's
Except
kind
the
of
moth
like
wants
that.
to kill us. Okay, I got it.
Yes, you are like very much like cotton to a moth.
There's a lot of metaphors for the same thing.
Yeah,
So
Newt is
just-
completely lost. There's so many metaphors. She's no idea what anybody's talking about.
Just real quick here. You're saying that they're drawn to the mask and specifically the person holding the mask, or to us as a group?
Well, as long as you're together with the mask, there's a slight chance they're gonna bleed over.
Good luck, Des. See you later.
It did kind of
I
already
don't
bleed on
know.
us. So we woke up and its blood was all over us. It did that already.
Yes,
Is
it
it-
did.
More things are going to do that.
More to the point, can you break it?
Yes, there's. If you take it to the spine of the world, you can destroy it, but it's a very long travel.
Is it in the Feywild, or do we have to go back to the material plane?
The spine exists over all planes, but yes, you can go in the Feywild or the Shadow Plane or the Prime Plane.
Something tells me I know where we're heading.
Where?
Spine of the world.
But where?
Yeah, but where is it?
Sounds like it's everywhere. So
And how do you know where we're headed?
How do you go somewhere if it's everywhere, Desmond? That does not make any sense.
I know.
I'm
Don't be
actually with
cryptic.
her on that one.
Don't be cryptic.
I'm not being cryptic. It's what it sounds like, and at this point I know about as much as you.
I got
Could
this.
you, Bruegel, could you get us a map? Oh, sorry, Harlan.
No, that's fine. Just point. That's all I was going to say. Map works much better.
Or you can do one of those little spirally things, the little portals. Just set
That's
this
a better
there.
idea.
Problem solved.
I'm afraid I can't take you that far, but rummage around in their pockets and they bring out this very like porous dark stone. They hand it to who's closest?
I ran over to help them set up the tables.
Okay, so they'll hand it to Newt. Say, this is a stone of shadow step. It can take you across vast distances in a very short time, but you'll be traveling in the shadow realm, so it is quite dangerous.
Desmond, do you want to carry it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe
Disappointed, not
we don't
surprised.
give
And he
maybe we
grabs
don't
it
give
and,
the
like-
That
rock
sounds
and
like
the
a
mask to
terrible
one
mistake.
person.
Oi.
Yeah, I feel
Oi.
like Desmond's gonna take that and just go.
No. So he goes over and like picks it up and like starts to inspect it like really curiously, and a couple minutes and throws it in his pocket.
I'm kind of with Harlan
Make
on
me
this.
feel dumb for giving that to you.
Again, I really would maybe caution against having you hold both those there, big guy.
No, I don't think this thing's too much trouble unless we decide to use it. Like we still need a proper plan of action.
Well,
In
maybe
fairness, you
Tobias could
didn't-
carry it. Why don't you give it to Tobias?
In fairness, you didn't think skeletons were that big of a deal, and look what happened.
Why don't you give it to
They're a bigger deal than
Tobias?
I realized, and I'm still not happy that they're still out there walking the desert.
Okay, let me put it this way, Desmond. If you don't give it to Tobias, either Harlan or I are going to get it out of your pocket anyway and give it to Tobias.
I
So
don't
why don't
mind
you just give it
sharing
to
it.
Tobias?
And I take it and I flip it like a coin.
I'll go ahead and nab it. Take just a brief look.
Roll.
Shrug. Yeah, I was waiting. Take a
Are we
brief
getting-
look. Shrug. pocket
Are
it.
we getting breakfast from the?
So-
Are they?
Oh,
The
yes.
mushrooms are full
I
of
believe they're
honey
all-
or something. I found that out this evening. They're weird.
Well, pretty much everything is edible here, and actually just like snatches a leaf off of the
Oh
branch
no.
and
It's
eats
Willy
it.
Wonka's chocolate factory.
Come with me,
Yeah,
and
literally.
you'll see.
Oh
Oh my
man.
god, it's so bad in her voice. Oh god.
Oh, it's so
Around
creepy.
the ocean.
All I can hear is oompa loompa doo 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 doo.
Yeah, you see
No,
all
no,
the
no.
pixies on the branch are doing that. Pixie,
Oh
pixie,
no.
doo-doo-doo.
Oh man.
No.
Everything is terrible.
So I'm gonna call bullshit. You can eat leaves anywhere. Harlan's gonna pick up a rock and toss it at Bruegel. Eat that.
He just catches it and takes a bite out of it.
Oh, Drac, you're right, yeah. That whole boat sequence with Bruegel.
Oh god.
There's
No.
no earthly way of
Well,
knowing.
we saw the
exactly
worms
where we're
already. I already dreamed that.
going.
Well, I will sit down and start to have breakfast if it's. Thank you for letting us have. Why are you being so nice to us?
Well, you're my guest. What else?
Still haven't told us how to get there. Simply how to lanes. Shortcut doesn't get us any closer.
Well, as long as you know where you're going, you should be fine.
Hey, okay.
No reason to worry. You know exactly where you're going.
We have a name, which apparently exists everywhere in every plane, which apparently we can shift into the shadow realm to get.
Frugal?
Yes, you'll be traveling through the Shadow Realm to get there. It's the fastest way to travel. But the
It's-
spines
What,
exist
we go
in
to the
every
shadow realm and ask
plane.
the friggin' concierge where's the spine of the world? What
I
the-
get the feeling with something called the spine of the world, it's probably going to be rather hard to miss.
I hope so. This seems like a long shot, but alright.
It-
Frugal?
Yes.
It's not an island, is it?
What's not an island, dear?
The spine of the world.
Oh no, it's a very large mountain range, but I do know that you are looking to go to an island, and you can get there too.
I mean, I don't know if I would say that I'm looking to go there. What do you mean? I mean, I know how to get there. We just go to Talcare and we take a boat. But
Well, the stone can get you there faster. It forms a type of mental bridge.
Well, it sounds like we need to give that stone a go. Tobias, what do you say?
Can we eat first? And maybe, take a beat.
I don't understand where we're going, and I don't know what we're doing yet. And
Let's eat first and get our bearings for a hot second.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Newt
You
here.
see Dez is like anxious and he's like, alright, I guess we could think this through and have some grub.
I'll go ahead and take a seat. Hesitantly kind of look at Bruegel. Just for a moment. Just to make sure. Go ahead and pull my sleeve. And you see a flower bracelet adorned prism slide out. And I just kind of tap Prism on the back and just say, right, be polite. Don't take too much. I know you can be a little greedy sometimes. And let Prism slither out.
I just want to give a verbal heads up. I just saw Drac announce that they're going to do the dice giveaway in about 5 minutes.
Yes!
Active in
Exciting!
chat.
Follow and be active in chat.
Hell yeah.
Kepri sees Prism wearing the flower necklace bracelet and is trying really hard to not look excited. She's not doing a good job. You don't need to. She's got the stupidest smile on her face.
And as Tobias kind of settles, he'll go ahead and pull the black shard out, take another look, and look to Newt.
What's that?
This is the thing that Bruegel gave us.
Oh, that's the stone. Sorry, out of character.
Aye.
I thought of it as a stone, not a shard. Okay.
Stone shard thing.
Whatever.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Object. It's a rock. It's not just
It's
a
a rock.
boulder. It's a rock. Anyway.
Yes.
Yeah. I'll just look towards Newt and just say, I have no idea how this thing works. Not a feckin' clue.
I mean, me neither. I don't know.
But I think we need to work out, as you said, 100% where we need to go. I think the spine of the world is going to be something pretty obvious. I think if we just go ahead and say that, we'll probably end up in the mountain range.
We just like hold the rock and say, take us to the spine of the world. Don't say it because you're holding the rock. But we just do that and then it'll take
Could
us there.
you imagine?
That would have been awesome.
No!
And suddenly, goodbye, Tobias.
Oh, it's nice having you while we had you.
Like, I don't know how it works either. I don't know why. I don't know anything about that stuff.
I'll just turn to Bruegel, still holding the.
That's really the
rock.
person to ask.
So what? We just say the magic word?
Kind of. I would suggest everyone who's traveling interlock hands, and whoever is the most familiar with the location, they should really concentrate on it.
But if we can't be familiar with a place that we've never been and we don't know what it is, and I'll be right back because my dog is having a tantrum. Just a second.
I mean, I can do a whole bunch of studying.
That's
Of
true.
what? Are there books here?
I mean,
There's
I don't know if there's
more
any
of-
here, but
Well, does anyone have any way of actually seeing this place, or feeling this place, or finding out a little bit more about this place? Any mystical mumbo jumbo?
Bruegel, are there any people who live there?
Oh, yes, there's quite a lot of barbarian tribes that live there. A very treacherous trading district.
Do you know any really well? Like, so that you can like talk to them in your head?
Not off the top of my head, but
Maybe the bottom or the middle of it?
it is a place of intersection of the planes, so that might help.
That doesn't help, actually. Oh, does that help? I don't think that helps.
Bruegel, have you been there?
I don't believe so.
Well, isn't that just the oddest answer that you could have given in the situation?
Or even better, do you know someone who has?
Well, you all have been, well, some of you have been there before, of course.
Holy shit.
ooh,
What?
Is that the mountain range that we crossed to get away from Honey Base?
No, Honey Basin is years away from this.
who's been there?
How do I? Well, from my knowledge, the twins and
Where Abbott Mother is?
the Harlan.
What? What?
When were we there?
Well, I mean, that's a tough question to answer. We've been in this loop before.
This loop?
There's a loop where Newt's looking around. What are you talking about? We're just in like a forest.
Abbott Mother did not prepare you a bit, did she?
Yeah, she doesn't really talk all that much.
How do you know Abbott Mother?
Well, we've owed each other a series of favors over the years.
She's the one who told us to come find you. Is that where we meet her? Like the spine of the world, the mountains? Is that where we see her?
I'm not sure what her plan is, but I was there waiting for you.
What? Oh, you mean in the desert?
When we were born?
In the desert.
How many times have we done this?
The three of you? At least. Oh, what's a nice number? 72 times?
That's a lie. That's not. I've never had breakfast with you before or been here. That doesn't make any sense.
Oh, it's always different, darling. We've met in various ways. I'm usually someone who helps you along your way.
What happens to us?
Oh, I don't know, but I'm assuming nothing good because you come back.
So you're saying we fail?
Well, they failed. I don't know you two.
I don't understand any of this.
It's a time loop. We wouldn't remember if this has happened before because it resets.
Okay.
Basically,
But-
something has to happen.
Probably
And-
destroying the mask.
That thing hasn't happened. So the world starts again. It's kind of like rewinding one of those music thingies. You go back to the start, you go through, we apparently fail, go back, start again, fail.
How does this help us get to the mountains?
We've been there before. If we've been through the loop before,
Never been there.
can I see if there's any? I don't know. Can I roll a history check or something like that just to see if there's any memory?
Sure.
I don't know. Who the fuck can say?
Oh, I want to ask her. I don't know if she'll know.
18.
All of this seems new to you.
There is somebody maybe we can ask.
I could try something. I don't know if it would work.
Me too.
I'll put my hand on Capri's shoulder, and I'm gonna try using the spirit ability and spend a key point. And if there's a place that she's been many, many, many times, see if there's a place that her spirit feels rooted to or connected to that's not the monastery, not Talkir, like somewhere that her spirit has been repeatedly. And I don't know if it'll work. I'm just trying. That's a key point.
Okay. Is there a role associated with this, or is it just
No, although you can impose one if you want.
No, let's just do it. You get the sense of just like this whipping, like biting cold that just goes down to the bone. The wind is just flying through you, even though you are like wind itself, and that's just not even helping. And you can see out over this frozen ocean, and you're at the peak of this mountain, and looking around, you see dead Capri, dead Harlan, you bleeding out.
I'm going to try very, very hard to remember every detail of the mountain that I see. Does it feel the place familiar? And the rest of you see her face just completely go into distress.
It feels familiar in the fact that it seems like you have been in this situation before, and you see like this figure. You can't quite make out the details, but it's this dark figure.
Like shadow, like the tattoo I saw.
Yes.
And you said it's by the sea. Like I can see the sea from the...
Frozen.
It's a frozen sea. You're very high up.
Okay. Right. So I can't like memorize a coastline or something like that.
Oh,
No.
it's probably like a lake or something.
Okay. Is there anything more that I can get for that? I'm going to assume that that's the limit of what I can get.
It's pretty much the limit. Like the wind is just whipping, and you're dying in this. So you get that sensation and anger.
I could feel anger, or
Yes.
I think that I'll pull my hand away.
What's going on?
Nothing. It didn't work.
Bullshit. We're in it now.
What?
We're in it now. You can talk. Tell us. What'd you see?
There was just a mountain and a lake that was frozen. All.
Nope.
Nothing else that I could use to find our way there.
What
It
else
was
did you see?
useless.
Frozen. That's helpful.
It was very windy.
What did you see?
Don't make me say it, okay?
Okay.
I don't want to go there.
Frugal.
We shouldn't go there.
Do you have a way of contacting Abbott Mother?
Could try, but mostly she comes to me. It's not.
Yeah, same.
Communications between us have never been a two-way path, if you catch my drift.
Oh, I know all too well.
Let's go to the island instead. We should do that. That's what we should do. We should go there.
We're gonna have to go to both places regardless.
If we need to find
Yeah.
out how to get there, I might have someone to ask.
I think we know how to get there. Hey. Rugal here says that she's only seen the three of us. These two might help make a different outcome.
She just looks down at the table.
Newt,
Mm.
Arlen, Kepri. If there's a cycle, if what she's saying is true, then that means we're destined to win. We're destined to be happy once that cycle is broken. Just a case of whether it's now or a bit along the line. But it's still gonna be you.
I'm just gonna go for a walk, and you can keep talking about that stuff if you want, but I don't believe any of that. I'm just gonna go for a walk. Okay, all right. The lake is pretty. And she gets up and goes to the lake.
Arlen will follow. Just walk beside her.
She'll get to just a nice, like, open place and just sit and watch the lake and not say anything and just cry.
Capri is going to fucking walk over to a tree further away with my quarterstaff, and I'm gonna beat the ever-living shit out of a tree. And I am going to do that until I am sweaty and tired and just push myself past my limit.
Eventually, Newt would grab onto Harlan and just hold him as hard as she possibly could, like probably uncomfortably hard, and just why?
Because she's really strong. Doesn't miss arm day.
She's not. She's actually just really flexible, but whatever.
I mean, you're always like picking up Harlan. Like I always feel like
I get my core. I get my
workout.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tobias kind of sits back and just takes a look at Desmond and kind of just uses his eyes and just kind of says, "They don't have a lot of hope, do they?"
No, I don't think they have a full grasp on how the lifelines work. This makes sense. And it sounds like this time's different.
I just don't think they understand the potential they have.
No. No, I don't think they do. So maybe we just have to show them.
Perhaps they just have to show themselves. That happy ending is there. It wouldn't be a cycle if it wasn't end up being broken. That's all I was trying to say.
You're right. And we're gonna do our damnedest to break it.
Whatever she saw, it hurt. I ain't gonna push it.
I think that's a good idea. From what I hear, like what she said, like that's enough to set a solid fear in somebody. But once we start making some progress on whatever this is, I think they'll see it.
I feel like it's one of those, if we know we're gonna win, then we won't win kind of scenarios.
Isn't that always the case? You can't go in knowing you're
fucking
gonna win. How many contracts have you filled knowing you're gonna succeed?
Something like that.
Thanks. In the background, the tree catches fire. Like one of the twigs or it's
Seems she got her aggression out.
Let them have their moments. Let them have their emotions. They've been through far more than I have. But
I think we all have some thinking to do.
Feck it, I'll drag them if I have to. We'll get them their happy ending.
And as the two of you are discussing this at the table, Bruegel looks between you and says, I don't know what the twins have been sharing, but Abbot Mother Versana is not looking great, so I'm afraid to say it, but this may be the last chance you all get.
Ah,
And that's what we'll pick up next week.
Ominous as fuck, but alright, cool.
Oh, God.
wow. Wow. Oh.
Let's just end it. Recover for a second.
Alrighty then.
So, thank you to everyone that donated. Please donate more. Because, oh boy, howdy.
I think I need to have a conversation with Kalimvor.
My roommate's going to kill me. And I can't stop yelling.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us. It's weird because I can't see myself or the levels of audio, which I'm always monitoring, and so I've been thrown off all night. But everyone did amazing, and you were all so amazing in chat. So thank you for being yourselves.
Thank you.
We are going to go ahead and go clockwise on this from my screen here, so that we'll put Jen up first. Jen, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I might
What
be
have
a
you been up
little
to
emotional.
lately? And yeah, revelations. How are you feeling?
This is okay. Fucking awesome. Like, I'm very excited. This is very, very cool. It makes me very happy from a story perspective. Newt is fucked up right now. That was holy shit. Okay. And I'm just breathing. But to think about better things, what I've been up to is going to that amazing march in LA on Sunday. And that was one of the best experiences as an activist I've ever had. So it was beautiful, and I'll dwell on that. And also to those of you who donated during this hour, thank you so much. And we're going to keep doing this like the whole month. There's going to be a game on Thursday that you can donate at. There's going to be a game on Friday that I'm DMing that I'm totally not nervous about at all, that you can donate at. We've got 2 weeks of this, and then we've got our charity stream on the 27th, 16 hours. So come help these really, really good causes. And we'll do a lot more giveaways. Just we have to have enough people in chat in order to do it, because none of us qualify for the dice, for better or worse. But we will do more. So come join us again and watch Newt cry and finger dance with pixies and then cry some more. Seriously, somebody probably could just be like, look, you're purple again, and it would help a little bit.
I should have just made your staff go. You've been like, ooh.
Doug, how are you doing? Where can people find you? Sorry, Jen, I don't think I asked you where can people find you, but it's
Oh, that's right. I forgot to say. This is the one time I haven't done my little Twitter spiel, y'all, so I have to do it. I'm Quixote Jen on Twitter, QUIXOTEJEN, 1 N, not 2, right up there. And also you can see me on Discord. I'm Jen Quixote on Discord. Come join us on our Discord. We chat all the time. Yes. We're very supportive of each other. We like to plan stuff together. Like if you want to get plugged into our community, we'd love to have you. And you'll see me, I'll be in Mind of the Martyr on Thursday night playing someone who's much tougher and probably won't multiple times cry.
Who also likes to beat up trees.
Yes, I was like, Peppery and Ishton would feel each other's vibe right now. They would feel each other's vibe. So yeah, that's where you can see me. And then on Friday, you can see me GMing Queer Heist Crew, where our gay cabal, our gay cabal team members are going to go mess up a politician's fundraiser. So there.
Oh, I didn't know they were fighting politicians. That sounds, I'm doubling down on that. Sounds amazing. Doug, where can people find you? How was the birthday party? And fuck, I had a question for Harlan and I forgot it. So hold on, I'll circle back. Give me a second.
You want me to talk while you're circling back? Yeah. Okay. So you can find me on Twitter at Doug88. Same thing in Discord. I pop in there, the other time. If you have a question for me, just tag me in it. The birthday barbecue was quite lovely. My father-in-law turned 65 today, so big deal for him.
Age.
And I'm just going to keep using words to fill the space while Adam thinks of this wording that he was wanting to use to
well, I
speak
guess
to Harlan and ask a question.
no, I don't remember what it was anymore. No,
Oh no, this is terrible.
we got stuck in a loop.
I cannot believe you, Adam.
So hold on, we'll come back to that. So I guess from Newt's experience, it sounds like maybe the three of you are interlinked. How's that sitting with you now? And how does it feel to just dodge all that zombie fighting we did at the beginning of the game?
Well, I mean, most of that, the dodging the zombie fighting, it's just, I'm torn because I would love to shoot things in the face, but also
I know we missed you.
There's a lot of things that I didn't shoot in the face. So
Proxy, you shot some things. Proxy, you shot some things.
I shot some things. Okay, all right. So that I feel like I kind of missed out a little bit, but and in terms of how the rest of it's sitting there, it's very new. So I mean, we'll see what happens. I think he's a little shocked at the moment, but I don't know. You broke me. That's what you did.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. I swear.
You broke my brain, and it really hurts. And that's what I got.
I love it. Corey, where can people find you? What have you been into as of late? Now that you've stopped working on your house, I think.
Nope.
Okay.
Haven't stopped.
And I'm going to go into a different game. How does it feel to go 11-2 in Warzone?
Embarrassingly terrible because that was fun. We played, so I don't know. I'm going to try and start doing some streaming with these people. And I know Ray and Adam and myself are playing Warzone today and had some fun. So, yeah, going 11-2 after a few rounds. That was fun. So you can find me Ink and Ignorance on most socials. Instagram is my main. I do a lot of mini painting. So right now I'm working on some Warhammer Chaos Knights, and I just got a start on my Keyleth mini. You can see my the green's not coming through because of my green screen, but
it's kind of coming through.
Got that started. Ink and Ignorance over there. You can hit me up, and I do a lot of mini painting and such. And I do some mini painting over on our Discord. There was a bunch of us hanging out. What was it, yesterday?
Yeah,
Cole?
I saw that.
We had 2 painters going, me painting minis. We had somebody playing Pokemon.
3 people streaming at once.
Tyler was on Pokemon Crystal.
Oh, it was awesome. So yeah, come and hang out on Discord, and there's like a whole bunch of us hanging out and chatting and doing all kinds of stuff.
Nice.
And I don't know, can I share that I'm going to be doing some stuff for this month stuff?
Why not?
You can share, totally share.
Yeah.
So there's the giveaways are gonna get more diverse.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm gonna be giving away a couple beholders.
Yes.
Throughout the rest of the month. So I think we're gonna give some options of whether we want me to paint them or not. But yeah, I have a couple WizKids beholders that we're gonna give away in a couple of our streams, I believe, next week. To entice maybe some mini painters out there to come and join us and listen in.
I might see if I can snag one of those for my Friday stream.
I got 2.
Love it.
And I have one more, but I don't know. We'll see. Not a beholder, something else.
Oh, intrigue.
Ooh,
Mystery.
surprises.
I love it. Cole, where can people find you? What have you been into as of late? And I guess, how does it feel the recent revelation of being one of 3 who has been in this loop that has been brugally googly? That's
Googly.
So my brain doesn't work anymore. It was a lot. It was super cool though. I'm a little broken, but also very intrigued. And here's hoping we don't fuck it up, y'all. You can find me at Comoriel on Twitter. I have been working very hard on some art. I am hopefully going to finish more art for the streams because I have so many things. But I'm also very slow when it comes
Also
to
working on some lovely emotes, which I saw some rough sketches for.
Yes.
So
yes.
everybody who's a sub right now, get ready for some amazing emotes.
Yes, I cannot wait to finish them.
We've
And I'm hoping they come out soon. So
Jen, you muted.
you're
$1
muted.
for Black Lives Matter.
That's another dollar.
We've seen. I'm up to 10. We've seen some of the like mock-ups, some of the little designs in there are so cute.
Also, since we're talking about giveaway things, this is a prototype that my roommate made. It is a keychain that oh no, it doesn't like that. Sorry.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
says, roll with your heart, and it's a little rainbow, little cute.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's a friendship bracelet, which is so fitting for friends who roll dice.
Love it.
So these will be part of the giveaway probably at some point. So they're super cute. And what am I into lately is Pride Month.
Makes sense.
That's it. That's my life. That's it. There is nothing else.
Yeah, folks, we've got some people who have been working very hard. So I guess round of applause right now in this group. We've got Jen, Cole, Ray. Like, sadly I have not been really doing anything, but but we need to show a little bit of recognition. Drax in the chat has been doing all the giveaways and making tons of
He's a
contacts.
superhero.
Yeah, there's so much great work has been done by people of our group, and it's amazing. And I am just a slub and run a game. So yeah, Ray, where can people find you, and what have you been into lately? And I guess how does it feel? I think you've adopted a lot of our members as children, and how does it feel knowing that you maybe haven't been there for them before, or knowing that this may be your only chance to be there for them?
So, hi, I'm Ray. You can find me at Bearded Baymax on Twitter. Up there somewhere. You can find me here every Tuesday on this wonderful show. You can find me Thursdays DMing Mind of the Martyr. You can find me on Discord, wandering around. I'm there at some point, usually chatting absolute nonsense, because that's what I do. Yeah, what have I been doing? Pride Month stuff mostly, and attempting to keep my life together. That's pretty accurate.
That's all we can ask of you.
Yeah.
But you're also running a game. There's a lot going on at 4 a.m. or whatever crazy kooky time you all have over there.
5:30 currently. It's fine.
Well, and I don't think either person who's running a homebrew game on a weekly basis gets to call themselves a schlub, Adam.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. Especially after that.
You can have
yes.
a schlut, not an ub.
I like to keep my schlub title.
My schlub title. I like it. Yeah, Tobias is kind of Tobias is very aware that he is the NPC in someone else's story right now. He's very aware that he's like the sidekick. He's the side character. He's that one that's like making sure that they get to where they need to go. So
he'll link your character in somehow. You wait. Don't.
Also,
I'm saying from
Yeah, I
Tobias's
wouldn't buy
point of
that.
view right now.
Yeah.
From Tobias's point of view, he sees it as, you know.
meanwhile,
these
Adam is
people-
sitting there like, bitch, you thought.
These people are going towards their happy ending, and Tobias feels like, yeah, he needs to be able to help them as much as possible. And yeah, he definitely has adopted adopted everyone as surrogate children at this point. It's just he might not he's a little conflicted about showing it, but he definitely has.
I would just like to point out that he's also the youngest person in this group.
Yes, he is. Like, quite considerably.
Character or in real life?
Character.
Character.
Although
Both.
also in
Otherwise,
real
I'm
life.
sure in real
It could
life
be
as well,
both.
actually. Considering I am only 23.
Fair enough. I
Yeah.
think you win. I think you win. Never mind. I am Adam, or Adam Slamas on all things social.
Adamas.
Adamas.
What was
Thank
that?
you all for joining us, and thank you for being amazing and contributing to the Trend Project and Black Lives Matter. And we have gone well beyond what we thought was possible, and we're halfway through the month, so this is fucking amazing, and that's all due because of y'all. I don't remember what I was going to say outside of that, but thank you for joining us, and I think we got a raid lined up. Maybe Behold Roleplay? Can somebody else raid? Because I don't have
Yeah, I think
Hang on,
so.
my thing.
Thanks again, Drac, for being like our
Yes,
support in
absolutely.
the chat like this whole time, so that we weren't running the donations. That was really helpful. Thank you so much.
You did a damn good job, kid.
Now I forgot the song that I was going to sing to send us off.
But you got a moment before I hit the.
Oh, we're going.
No,
we're
you
going,
can
we're
say
going,
it.
we're going.
Isn't it, Cred? No.
Say it, everybody.
Good night, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, song.